Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sovereign Citizen Watch. How are you all doing? We are on a hype train, 75% to level 1, 100% to level 1, level 1 complete. Sweet. Hydrate. I can do that. I can drink water real good. Overthought with 50-bit says, guys, if you can, be up early like 6 a.m. and sub to Jake's channel. He thinks he can get out of his subathon easy. Keep him there forever. What? Is he taking like a break until tomorrow? That's not how subathons work. I'll tell you this. I might do a subathon soonish. And if I do, I will not do that. If I sleep, I'll try and sleep in a way that I am on camera. If I have to sleep, I won't do that shit, okay? The subathon will go on, okay? And I won't start at 6 a.m. to try and get out of it or whatever. Anyway, Twitch limits streams to 48 hours. If I had to, then I'd just restart a new stream. Overthought says, nope, I just read that one. Honey Bun Robin, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Will I Am Not Okay says, I just finished watching the video of you covering the Australian lady on YouTube, so this is good timing. Smitty, thanks for 8 months, says afternoon, everyone. Radiology with 100 bits says, whoop whoop, it's the sound of the police. Hello, officer. No, I do not stand under you, and I agree to no contract. Furthermore, I am recording this and uploading it to Facebook, so prepare to go viral, you idiot. You fool. You sound of glass smashing. Speak the Truth 16, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub. Logarth says, I'm pretty sure we broke Jake with the subathon. Good, he deserves to be broken. Neemsor Kolboth, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. That's another hydrate. You told me needed a hard limit on the stream time, but no. Yeah. Bumble Homestead says, listening to Hannah and installing a bidet seems thematically appropriate. Bidets are awesome. That's a dill I'll high on. That's a hill I'll die on. Bidets are awesome. My opinion of bidets might be higher than my opinion of putting posters in frames. By the way, some people seem to get very mad at my posters in frames feeling, okay? It's not my fault. You can't get a frame, okay? Get frames for your posters and get a bidet for your asshole, okay? It'll be incredibly clean. Horns, I'll put on the horns for the hats off. Thank you very much. How's it going? Pretty good. Pretty good. Will I Am Not Okay? Thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Here. Are you happy now? I have horns. I'm horny. Radiology says Hannah has a framed poster of a bidet. Facts. True. It's very true. You'll never see it, though. It's private. Haley Owl says, my partner is having voice lessons right now, so what better to do than watch Hannah? Netzerk, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs, getting us over level 4 of the hype train. Did I see your text? I did. I knew that before you texted me. I should update the audience. Coach Red Pill is not dead. Coach Red Pill has been released. He is alive. He was taken in by the SBU, but Coach Red Pill is alive. They confiscated all of his equipment, so they took away like his phone and his computers and stuff, and they arrested him and questioned him, and now he's confined to his hotel room. But he's alive. He is alive. Is he going to be charged with anything? Not to my knowledge. I have no idea. All I know is he's alive. Any Marcel update? Nope. He's on the run still, to my knowledge. Or the obnoxious frauditor? No, he's still in jail. He has like charges coming and going. It's very strange. The Glenn thing, I do not have an update on. Meek says, damn, Hannah, you sound so disappointed. This is Twitch, so I'm not allowed to say my opinion. Rachology says, confined to his hotel room, so nothing changed then, basically, yeah. He's not supposed to, like, do streams and stuff anymore either, I don't think, where he's, like, talking about the war and stuff. DM Trey says, hey, any news on Chris Chan? Not that I'm aware of. Last time I checked, Christine was, like, checked into a mental place, like a mental hospital, which is good. Christine is not well. DM Trey says, hey Hannah, just watched yesterday's VOD, and I think that you would be happy to know that the professor exists in my world, taking a vacation with Kazdan, hanging out on a tropical island that is a communist magical utopia, hanging along with a frost giant druid named Sergey. You know, that sounds nice. Good for her. Freaking Out says, you really think we just let a Russian shill wander our country while we're being invaded by Russia? Think again, bucko. 16% to level 5 on the hype train. Are people having issues with the video? Let me know. I'm not getting any notifications as of yet for my streaming encoder, and usually it like pops up a red thing like, hey, you're dropping frames, if it's like a thing from my end. Ashy Boo says, your voice is absolutely lovely today, Hannah. Do you happen to know when the next patron-only live stream will be? Good question. This Sunday I will be busy, unfortunately. Probably Saturday the 30th, if I had to guess. So Saturday the 30th, I'll probably do a regular stream earlier in the day, and then later in the day we'll do the Patreon live stream, in which we'll talk about multiple things. Nick Fuentes has done some messed up stuff since the last time we did a Patreon-only live stream, so I'll probably be talking about him. Grimthorpe, thanks for subscribing at Tier 1. 35% to level 5 on the hype train with about a minute left. You can always donate to the Patreon now. Any amount gets you access to the patron-only live streams. They're a lot of fun. Sometimes we play games together, like Jackbox games. Most of the time we watch people I can't watch on Twitch, like Nick Fuentes, Bryson Gray, people who've been banned from Twitch, basically. So yeah, any amount if you donate there. It's like a recurring monthly thing at the first of the month. Throw me $1, whatever. It's just nice. Avant Gardener with 400 bits says hype. Thank you very much. I don't know if anyone has suggestions for things. Ooh, 48% to level 5 with only 30 seconds left. Are we gonna get to it? Or is it gonna die? Bryson did get banned from Twitch. Yes, he did Fortnite streams or something, and he got banned. I think for being homophobic or something. Avant Gardener with 300 bits. Bittergrin with 1,000 gets us to 91. We're 10 seconds left. We're so close. Will I Am Not Okay gifts 5 Tier 1 subs and gets us to level 5. Then, of course, we have Stone Corbell gifting a sub. Haley Owl with 100 bits says, bits now because I've got to go soon. Thank you. Maps and Mimics gifting a sub, and Ran the Fool. Just so many people drop it in to save the level 5 hype train. I appreciate it so much. You're the best community on Twitch. Have I told you that before? Well, I'm telling you now, because it's the truth. Anyway, so if anyone has any ideas for other stuff to do for patrons, like benefits or whatever, I don't really want to get into, like, giving people physical things, because we did that with TBR, when we used to do the TBR one back in the day, which we do still plan doing TBR at some point. But anyway, so if anyone has any ideas for things that I could do for patrons, that are not, like, physically mailing things to people, let me know. Because I'm always open to helping out people who help me out and giving them more, or whatever would be helpful to them, or something that would be beneficial to you guys. Hydrate. Hannah NFTs? No. Never. I will die on that hill. I know you're joking. Am I gonna redo the TBR song? I wish we could. If someone had musical talent and offered to do it, that would be nice. But the guy that did it originally, like a decade ago, we haven't heard from him, and he hasn't had an online presence presence in years. So I don't know what happened to him. You wouldn't mind re-recorded reviews of old movies? Yeah. Okay, good hype train. Thanks, everyone. Hannah Coin is going to the moon. Yeah, don't get me started on Safe Moon. Anyway. Let's see, what do we want to start with? How about this gentleman? Let's learn about Satan's accusatory legal system. Boy, I love sovereign citizens, and nothing's better than when they accuse the legal system of being the work of Satan. So let's go ahead and take a look.
We're going to be talking about the difference between the word legal and what people may confuse that word with, which would be law.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect that voice to come out of this man. He sounds like he should have an old prospector voice. Like, dang nabbit, I gotta get down to the watering hole! Someone just found some gold dust! You know what I mean? He doesn't look like a guy who's like, hello, my name is Chris. Today we're going to be talking... I don't know. Have I seen the Matt Hawthorne thing? Vaguely. Is that the thing where he was wearing women's clothes? At, like, some event? Nick says, this is just the 2024 GOP platform. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let me turn it up a little. It's a little quiet. He would be a pretty good D&D wizard. I'm not going to lie there.
God's law in the Bible is completely contrary to the legal system.
Look, if you're religious, that's completely fine. I respect that you're religious, and that's cool. But in this country, we have the separation of church and state. So we have a government that makes legislation that are laws that we have to follow, that we all sort of collectively agree on through our representative democracy. And then you have your religious rules, which are just enforced either by yourself or within your religious community, or if you believe in God, then by God, right? And that's fine. You're allowed to do that. The problem is when you start trying to impose those beliefs on others who don't believe the same as you. So, like, I respect your beliefs as long as they're not harming other people. That's cool. I'm happy for you. But there's also the law, which is a thing that people create that you need to respect. Even, let me put it this way. I guess you don't even have to respect all law. There are laws that I think are stupid. Prohibition of marijuana. I think that's stupid. I think it's a waste of taxpayer time and money, and it's ruined so many people's lives. But at the end of the day, it's still a law. So if you don't like a law, you need to change it within the legal system. Laws are a thing. They're collectively enforced by society.
So if we wanted to give a good example of it, there'll be the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. God does not give you license to do these things, to go ahead and do them as long as you're willing to pay a fee. The idea of man's legal system is legal requires you to already commit an act that is unlawful. It's permission to do something that is against the law based on the idea that you have a license, that you're willing to pay a fee or a royalty for you violating a law.
Okay, no. So what he's basically saying here is that the legal system says it's okay to commit crime if you're willing to do the time, if you're willing to pay the fine or do whatever, right? No, the penalties are in order to try and dissuade you from breaking said laws. Just like in Christianity, sins, at least, this is going to depend if you're like Catholic or Protestant, which flavor of Protestant, if you are Protestant or whatever. But among some denominations, works are an important part of whether or not you get salvation. For other people, it's just believing in Jesus and asking for Jesus to forgive you. But either way, God tells you not to commit sins because they're the wrong thing to do, right? The penalty of sin is death, according to the Bible, right? The penalty of sin is eternal torment in hell. So that's still a penalty, it's just a permanent one. On Earth, we recognize, that eternal torture is inhumane, so that's not really on the table. So instead we try and have, and I do emphasize the word try here, we try to have the punishment fit the crime. That doesn't mean it's okay to go out and steal a candy bar necessarily, or go out and speed or not wear a seatbelt or whatever just because you can afford the ticket or the fine or whatever misdemeanor charge. It just means we're not going to overshoot, ideally, the punishment for the crime. That's reasonable.
So their system is already based on you already in the wrong. You're using something, of course, as we've spoken about with the name, a name that makes you identified as a legal subject or something that...
No, this is a thing sovereign citizens do. They think your legal name has something to do with whether or not the government has authority over you. No. If you're within the jurisdiction of the government, and that means the physical locale that the government has jurisdiction over, in the United States, the entire federal government has jurisdiction over you. If you're in a specific state like Michigan or Arizona or Florida, that state government has jurisdiction over you. And then within the county or parish or whatever it's called in your locale, there are local laws that will apply to you as well. That's typical. That's just how it works. Doesn't matter if you have a name. Doesn't matter if the government knows your name. Doesn't matter if you have no name. The laws apply to you.
Belongs to the legal system, which is contrary to who you really are with your real name, your truthful name, your God-given name. So,
I don't know about you, but God didn't give me my name. My parents did. And as soon as I could, I threw that thing in the trash and got a new one.
Their system requires you to trespass in order to collect a fee or a fine. So it's already an agreement in advance to do that. That's why I find that most of the time tie-up in most of the courts is so wasteful, because the party that enters into the court is already in the wrong. He's already agreed in advance to pay a fine for the use of the name that he participates in society with. So the legal system is definitely a perversion of a really good system that God put into place, which...
That system being, do what I say, worship me, or I will torture you for all eternity. It's a great system. I don't know why we didn't replicate that. It's like if someone speeds, we just throw them in a furnace.
Told you directly what you could not do, and that was it, and that was the law. He did not give you a license permission to break the law as long as you're willing to pay some money.
He kind of literally did. First of all, people in the chat are already talking about the Catholic idea of indulgences, which existed in the Middle Ages. This actually helped spur the Protestant Revolution, or rather the Reformation, where Martin Luther famously took his, grievances with the church and, nailed them onto the church door. I'm sure you've seen a picture of it. So back in the day, the Catholic Church would say, you want to be forgiven of your sins? Okay, give us X amount of money and we will absolve you of the sins. It's a scam. Surprise. But even without that, within Christianity, especially Protestantism, but this also applies to Catholicism with things like giving confession, God forgives you of your sins, which are things like the 10 Commandments are included in sins, if you accept, Jesus into your heart. That's the nomenclature that was said to me when I was younger. Asking for forgiveness from God, or if you're Catholic, again, going to a priest and absolving yourself of your sins through confession, and taking whatever thing they say to do, Hail Marys or whatever. Not Catholic. Was never Catholic, so I can't really speak to that. But what he's saying is kind of describing biblical law, or at least Christian law. God will forgive you. That's the fine. The fine for sin is accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. It's even easier. I didn't even need to, write a check. I just had to be yo, Jesus. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for getting nailed for me. I appreciate it. And he's like, oh, it's okay. You're all right. And I go, cool. Cool.
So it is a quite a perverted system that we operate into today if you are a legal participant. Now we're going to deal with how we identify, or how the legal system is kind of theorized to be. And legal is kind of a system that deals with accusatory.
I like that he just has an open Bible on his lap. I don't know why he's not reading out of it currently. I don't know if he maybe will during the video. But it does, if you just open books around you, I think it gives you a general air of authority, even undeserved. So like if I just sit here and while I'm talking about any other subject, I'm just holding a book. Certainly, it makes it seem like I'm more educated than I am, right? Probably not this book in particular, but imagine it's a book that's worth reading, you know? Daddy Sume says, Hannah would much rather get nailed herself, bazinga. Oh, wow. That's what we're going with, huh? Cool.
It's Canada's law is an accusatory system. So another word for an accusatorial system is called an adversary system. So when I
read Twilight in high school, I did read Twilight, yes.
Read that, I'm always trying to find something that I can draw truth from out of the scripture. So when I look at the word accuse and I look at the word adversary,
I'm not team either of them. I am not team Edward. Edward is a controlling psychopath, and like Jacob is an abusive, anger-driven abuser. Like they're both terrible people.
It brings me to scriptures in the Bible that I remember as a child being taught, but probably did not, of course, have the understanding at the level now that I would. So I'm going to take you to Revelation 12:9 and verse 10, and it says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night." We can also go to Peter.
What does this have to do with the legal system on Earth, in America, or Canada in his case?
And 1 Peter 5.
That XY girl says, did you read her Yerk fan fiction called The Host? I did not. And also you got the 10K bits badge. Nice.
Verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." So you can see that there's clues that the system of the devil would be an accusatorial system. Something that accused.
When he's talking about accusatorial or adversarial system, the United States and Canada and the UK, because the American and Canadian legal systems are derived from the UK legal system. Of course, they've changed over time, but they are fundamentally derived from that system. It's a system in which you have a prosecution and a defense. So you have one side that is arguing, hey, this person is guilty of the crime that they were charged of, and then you have the defense, which is, of course, the side of the plaintiff, which says, no, the prosecutors have not met their burden of proof because their client is innocent until proven guilty, so no, they are innocent of the crime that they are accused of. It's the idea that there are basically two sides and then someone who judges, whether it is an actual judge or a jury, adversarial.
As would be the statement of birth document, which is really an accusatorial statement document that
your birth certificate is not any sort of accusatorial statement document. It's literally just a document that says what is your legal name, when were you born, where were you born, parents' names, stuff like that.
Accuses the child of a trespass for the use of the name.
No, it doesn't! Ah, yes, this newborn baby is trespassing upon the name. That doesn't mean anything.
Of course, noting it as an error, because that would be an error in law, because a child could never be able to commit a crime because of not having the ability to consent or plot out such a crime. Or
children are capable of committing crimes. Babies, probably not. But children are capable of committing crimes. They're just stupid and often not understanding what they're doing. Which is why we have a distinction between juvenile courts and adult courts.
Or have an intent.
H. Baird says, I accuse you of being born. What were you thinking? I don't know. That was the worst choice I ever made. It's all been downhill since then.
For a crime. So the system is basically a very taxing system. And so if you look up the word to tax, it says to accuse. So you can understand that the fermenter of the plot of what we are taxed with in the legal system, the burden, the debt, everything.
Isn't it foment? He said ferment. It's foment, right? Foment. Yeah, he meant foment.
That you're actually experiencing in legal that is opposite to the grace of Christ would be very taxing. So let's try to place words that we are seeing in man's law or positive law or the legal system, and let's look to Scripture to give us an understanding of where we're to be on this subject matter and whether or not we're supposed to be basically burdened by this. So hopefully
What's the age of criminal responsibility in the U.S.? Let's see. Age of criminal responsibility. It might vary by state. 18? Really? No, because that's just the age of majority, which is a different thing. Varies between states. The lowest is 6 in South Carolina. It's 7 in 35 states. 11 years is the minimum for federal crimes. Let me see what it is in Michigan. Looks like Michigan might not even have one? How could that possibly be true? That's interesting. Control F, Michigan. It's not going to pop up. The map made it look like it was 0. Varies by state. Come on. Looks like a lot of states don't even have one. So yeah, it appears that in Michigan, the age of criminal responsibility is 0. A baby could theoretically be charged with a crime. I say theoretically because I imagine it's taken on a case-by-case basis, and I doubt they've charged a baby with a crime, but that's interesting.
Future videos that I put out on this subject matter will bring more clarity on where the relief and the escape is.
Michigan probably goes by federal. You're probably right. Because if it is at 0, well, maybe not, though, because it said for federal crimes. I don't know if the federal government sets a general standard by which the states have to go for that, though. I don't know. The only way we can determine this for real, we have to find a baby and get them to commit a crime. Does anyone have a baby in Michigan that we are allowed to help commit a crime? Then we'd be, I guess then we'd be... No, we need to find an evil baby. Does anyone have a baby in Michigan that's fundamentally evil? Because if so, we have a Mythbuster to do. Anyway, so that's this guy's video. He seems to think that the legal system is satanic. For reasons. Oh, let's see. Does he have anything else? He seems to be an interesting mountain man. How do we abandon the surname and legal name?
Insurance, you got the ownership. This is the normal scenario for most people. So let's just look at it. You are what you are in the moment.
I see why he got the hat. I think he looks more official with the hat. I think without the hat, he loses a lot of his authority. This hat provides negative authority, for the record. I trust him less than without the hat here. But anyway, we'll see this guy again in the future, I'm sure. Just kind of an interesting, folksy gentleman who has opinions on how the law is satanic. Moving on. Chiba Hawk says, if there's a federal statute and a state does create its own statute, then it defaults to the federal statute. Marcus, yeah, but it said specifically for federal offenses, the minimum was, 11. So that doesn't inherently mean that they're saying that the states have to adhere to that for their own state offenses. The wording specifically is what gets me. Like there's a federal, like the age of majority or age of consent, and it can vary by state still. Marcus Drake says it only becomes an issue when people like go across state lines. Then it becomes a federal issue, and the federal one goes into effect. So that's why I'm thinking it might just depend. Marcus Drake says that might be the age of civil responsibility. Civil normally has lower standards. On the theory, it encourages their caregivers to take necessary precautions to protect them and the public. Also why insanity might not be available in civil cases depending on jurisdiction. Okay. Give me one sec. You guys can't see me, I assume? I don't think you can. That's good. One sec. Okay. I'm good. I had to... A boob was falling out of my bra. I had to adjust it. I'm sorry. That's true. No object permanence. Hannah gone. No, you didn't. What are we going to watch now?
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm here to see the county clerk.
Okay.
So does
Need your driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license.
You don't have it with you, or you don't have one?
I don't have one. I don't have a driver's
You have
license.
any picture ID in you?
No, I don't have
Can't let
picture
you
ID.
without picture ID. You gotta have something with a picture ID. Hi.
But this is a government building, ma'am. Why would I need picture ID to come into a government building?
Because
I don't need picture ID even to vote. Why? Doesn't that seem silly? You could vote for the president of the United States without a picture ID, but I can't come see a county clerk without picture
you
ID?
gotta scan you in.
You could just write my name down.
What are you here for?
I need to see the county clerk.
About what?
I need to do an open records request. I'm a journalist.
All right, just stand over there. Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Please put the phone away, please. You're not allowed to video or tape.
I'm sorry?
Please put it away.
Why
I'm
can't
asking
I
you nicely because there's a sign posted outside that you can't do that in here.
why can't I record in here?
Who are you here to see, the county clerk?
I'm here to see the county clerk. I have business to conduct. I have to
What was my lip color on 420? Let me grab it.
do a public records request.
Okay, you could.
I don't. Okay, that's
What's
what I'm
your name? Are
trying
you
to
here to see
do.
anyone?
So I'm just here to see the county clerk to do a open records request.
Sure.
It's a
Okay.
law. It's called Freedom of Information Act.
Absolutely.
As a member of the public, I'm coming in here. I don't have an ID.
So, yeah, okay.
You can mail in Freedom of Information Act requests. It is LA Girl. Trying to find this actual. Blue Valentine by LA Girl was what I was wearing on 420.
So I'm gonna escort you because you have.
For the record, it looks nice, but it comes off very easily, just so you know. So it smears a lot. So if you're like going out to dinner, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Or if you plan on making out with someone, I probably wouldn't recommend it, unless they're into that. But yeah, it's very smeary. You got to be very careful, but it looks nice.
No ID on you?
Sure, you could do whatever you'd
Okay,
like.
do
You
you
could
have
escort
any
me.
ID on you?
No.
So these are government buildings. Moving forward,
Yeah.
you need ID to get in government buildings.
Well, I don't need an ID to
Moving
pay for
forward.
this government building,
Sir,
right?
You actually do. You have a social security number that's used as like a taxpayer ID.
as an officer, I can deny you to come into our
Sume with a link.
Hey, phrasing!
What did I do that was phrasing? Where did it go? There we go.
That would be a very big mistake, though. That would be a big mistake on your
Sir?
part. I'm telling you,
You
it
have
would.
nothing on you. Now,
I just want to make sure I get your name.
Officer Heitman.
Officer Heitman.
So now, if you fall down and get hurt and we have to put you in back of an ambulance, we don't know who you are. Nobody knows who you are. So that's for your safety.
No.
But let's get off
It's
of
not.
that.
It's not. It's not for your. It's not for my safety at all.
So what are we going to do here?
My name is not going to change me being hurt.
Do you have anything on you
I have
that you can show us your name?
no.
So we can let you in.
I don't have anything with my name.
Okay.
I don't have. I
Hold
want
on.
to.
Please just say yeah.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Ridiculous.
People are just so difficult for no reason. Just show him your ID. I'm sure he has one. Lazy Paradox says, sorry to derail, but quick, Hannah, what is a good elf name for a troublemaking rogue with a heart of gold? Why? Just asking. I don't know elf names. Let's look at the name generator and we'll pick one together. Elf name. I kind of like Tanth, T-A-N-Y-N, or T-A-N-Y-T-H, Tanth, Lucin, that's not bad. Raoul is pretty good. Is this going to be male, female, non-binary, elf? Let me know. Because then I can get more specific. Lyari is okay. Silvar is pretty good. Reuven. Siren. Elias. I like Elias. Joe Aconite, thanks for 9 months, says, I like how she's handling him. Phrasing. Oh, I can use the name generator to come up with a sub-baby name. 9 months. Whoop. Kenor Iargella. Fenian is pretty good. Let's do one more. Male elf. Alis. I kind of like Alis. It's simple. A-L-A-S. Alis. I kind of like the last name Keycan, though. Alis Keycan. Do Alis Keycan. I like that. I have spoken!
Attorney of record, Jacob Wilson, appearing for the person, Jacob Wilson.
Okay.
Time he attempts the script, which is hilarious. As Bond for if so without.
Jacob Wilson.
Attorney of record, Jacob Wilson, appearing for the person, Jacob Wilson.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
11/3/79.
Charges battery on a law enforcement officer's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Do you have me as the attorney of record in this matter?
See, Jacob, all of that stuff works wherever you're from, but it doesn't work here. Here, it's my rules. If you want an attorney to represent you, say so. If you don't, that's fine, too.
Only a fool would represent themselves.
And there you go. I'll appoint the public defender. Any history state?
I do not want a public defender.
Okay, I won't appoint the public defender. Any history state?
Yes, Your Honor. 2022 March adjudication was
Do
withheld
you
on
have me as the
trespass.
power of attorney?
20
Be quiet.
I like that he just cited that only a fool would have themselves as a client if they're only. How does it go specifically? The person who represents themselves in court has a fool for a client. He cited that, but then he's like, I don't want a lawyer. Does he not understand what that means?
Quiet.
Matter. I will not be quiet.
All right, I'm going to hold you without bond because you won't participate in the first appearance. I'll have you back in court on the 10th of May. Thank you. Sit down.
Wow, he had zero patience for the sovereign citizen shit. It's like, nope. Try again another day when you want to participate. That's the quickest I've ever seen a judge just be done. Just be done. This is, I believe, a Moorish citizen thing.
How do you turn this around? Shoot. Okay. License and badge number, please. Sir, license and badge number, please.
What's that?
It looks like Gillum 37...
3739.
39. Okay, Gillum
Yes,
37.
It always makes me so nervous when anyone who isn't white does this, because white people get away with a lot of shit. I say this as a white person. I'm just always afraid for them. I'm afraid that the cops are gonna be racist or some shit.
What's your emergency, sir?
What's my what?
Emergency. What's your emergency?
The reason I stopped you today is because your tags, your license plate has been expired since 2013.
Ooh, since 2013? That's almost 10 years. Wow. That's nuts. Haughty Gaming, thanks for following. Actually, no thanks for following. You're very rude already.
When I run it, it shows to have been
No, this isn't an old video. This says 2022, and it's uploaded by the person, I think.
It got suspended in 2014. That's the reason for the stop.
My question was, what's your emergency? Do you have an emergency? Is there a articulable cause for concern? Why did you pull me over if there's no emergency?
That's why. It's your suspension.
Haughty, are you a sovereign citizen? Is that why you're being rude? Or is it for another reason?
Suspended license plate.
So you don't have an emergency? Because I would love to help you if you have an emergency.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I would love...
Sovereign citizens and Moorish citizens, as an extension of that, seem to be under the impression that the cops are only allowed to turn their lights on during an emergency, which is not the case. They can turn them on for traffic stops or to make the public generally aware of their presence. The cops can turn on their lights. Nick says, the emergency is we got a crazy mother effer driving the streets with our 9-year-old expired tags.
To help you if you have an emergency, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's a traffic stop. It's not an emergency. Do you have a driver's license with you?
Well, are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
I can't hear you still.
Are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
Ma'am, I just need to see your driver's license.
Well, you're under the assumption that I drive.
Am I what?
You're under the assumption that I drive.
Okay. Do you have a driver's
What's your
license?
articulable reason for stopping me?
Okay. Do you have a driver's license with you today or an ID? Any form of identification?
I don't drive, I travel, sir.
What's up, ma'am?
She said it! She said the thing! She said it! I feel like it's been a while since we got a classic I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Finally, a good use for the emote. Can we get all the traveling emotes? Can we get the traveling emote in the chat, everyone? We gotta get some utility out of that thing. Nick says, it's articulable, not articulable.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license or
I don't drive, so do I have to show you any kind of driver's license by law?
Yes, you do. If you are in a traffic stop, you are required to show your driver's license, or at minimum, some form of, like, photo ID. You're required to identify yourself. I'm trying to think. For instance, when I was younger, there was a period of time where my mom didn't have her driver's license for some reason. Like, she still had a license on file with the state. It wasn't expired or taken away or anything at the time. She later got multiple DUIs. But she just physically lost the license and didn't have one. So she memorized her ID number, and she was able to just give the cops an ID number if she got pulled over, which happened at least once when I was there. And they were okay with it, though they weren't the happiest about it, I'm sure. Either way, yeah, you're required to identify yourself to the police. And you're required to have a license to drive on public roads in the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
I have you on camera saying that I, by law, have to show you a driver's license.
That's
Correct. That is correct, ma'am. That is exactly correct. Maps of Mimic says, I know you hate Family Guy, but I'll give it a shot. But I'm not...
He said it! He said it!
Yeah.
correct. Yes, ma'am.
That's kind of inaccurate. Can you call your supervisor? And
Do
are you
you
familiar?
like a
And
supervisor?
are you familiar with the consular notification manual?
Am I what?
Are you familiar with the consular notification manual?
Okay.
Here comes the more citizen stuff.
Thanks, Sergeant. Yep.
Michigan must not have terribly long license numbers. I mean, it was pretty long. She just memorized it. You know why she memorized it? Because she's an alcoholic and she needed to memorize it so she could buy alcohol. Just saying. If anything stands in the way between that woman and buying alcohol, she'll do it, damn it.
Hey.
Thus the DUIs I mentioned earlier, but...
I need you to come by over here.
There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. It's an oxymoron.
This is an interesting thing. That's true. She's not wrong. But sovereign citizens came up with that name themselves. We did not come up with that name. The police did not come up with the name sovereign citizens. The original group that came up with all this nonsense called themselves sovereign citizens. And then other people took it on without being part of that group. So then they grew to find it offensive when people called them sovereign citizens, even though they're literally following the sovereign citizen playbook. And in this case, this woman is a Moorish citizen, which is sovereign citizens mixed with some conspiracy theories. And it's I don't know if I want to say it's a black nationalist movement, but basically the adherents of Moorish citizenship believe that the United States used to be Morocco, and that the indigenous people of the United States are actually black people, and they don't believe that the transatlantic slave trade happened. So it's a whole thing, but it's sovereign citizens mixed with a bunch of ahistorical conspiracy theories, basically.
We're going to be Katy Freeway, Service Road, outbound, just past Geriatric. So if you make the U-turn at Geriatric.
Law of the flags.
Oh no, she has a sovereign. Oh no, she has a Moorish citizen flag. She brought it with her.
Ma'am, I have my supervisor on the way. Okay.
Okay.
Once again, will you provide me with your driver's license or any form of
Are you making
identification?
any assumptions or presumptions here
Okay.
today?
Okay.
You don't have an emergency. Are you aware that it is a federal crime to pull over an individual without an emergency?
No. That's untrue. They can stop you. Traffic stops are a thing. If they see you breaking the law in some way, in this case, they were able to see that she had a registration that was very, 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 very out of date, so they pulled her over to give her a ticket. Or, honestly, if it's that long, they might even impound her vehicle. Like, if it's a month, or even maybe 6 months out of date, they'll just give you, like, a ticket. If it's a little bit, they might give you a warning, right? If it's more than that, they'll give you a ticket. If it's been 9 years, they might impound your car. Which, hey, that's terrible. You know, I hope there was an actual reason she couldn't re-register her car, like some sort of financial reason or something, and not just stupidity of the Moorish citizen stuff, but 9 years, that's a long time.
What's that, ma'am?
Are you aware that it is a federal crime to pull over a individual without an emergency. You use your lights and sirens, they're still on.
Yeah, during a traffic stop, they leave their, especially if they're pulled over, like, just to the side of the road, but they'll leave them on to make people aware of their presence, yeah.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Are you aware that it is against the law? It is a federal crime for you to pull someone over using your lights and
Yeah, it definitely varies by cop.
sirens where there is no emergency.
Okay, ma'am. I just need to see your driver's
Well, I
license.
put you on notice that it is a federal crime. My charge for this stop is $10,000.
Oh, she did that thing too! My charge for this stop is $10,000. Honestly, that's brilliant. What a good way to make money. If you thought that that worked, why aren't you driving around the police station all day with expired tags, hoping they will pull you over? It's the infinite money glitch in real life. Sir, you have pulled me over. I am now charging you $10,000. Why stop there? $20,000, $50,000, $1 million. I charge you, sir, $15 trillion just for pulling me over. You've taken a minute of my time. It's very valuable.
Okay.
You agree? $10,000. Gillum 3739.
39. Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Oh, she looks so proud of herself, too. She's like, I am nailing this. Look at her. She's so friggin' proud of herself. And you gotta cherish those moments in life where you feel like you're really nailing it. She's not, but in her head she is.
Hey, you said you turn on what street, and are you on the main lane? I'm sorry, sir.
You turn at Gary Ashford, and you're on the service road. You'll see it.
I can't believe when I need that information, I can't find it. I'm gonna try to look for my documentation. I'm gonna try to look for my documentation in the backseat of the car. I'm not trying to get any weapons. I don't have any weapons. I don't own any weapons. I'm just gonna look in the backseat to see if I can find
what documentation are you
the documentation I need to give you.
I'm guessing it's gonna be documentation of... More citizens believe that a treaty between the United States and Morocco, you know, the real Morocco, the northwestern African nation, which is a real treaty that was signed early on after the formation of the United States of America, after it seceded from the United Kingdom. They believe that this treaty basically says that they can't be charged with any sort of crime from American police because they believe they are Moroccan citizens by nature of the fact that they are black, and they believe that black people in the United States are not, in fact, often, not always, of course, but often the descendants of people forced into chattel slavery through the transatlantic slave trade, but instead they believe black people in the United States are the indigenous population. And they believe that the United States used to be Morocco, that the northwestern African nation of Morocco is basically a psyop to trick people into not believing that the United States used to be Morocco. And this treaty that they do believe happened, they think says that the United States can't adhere them to any of federal, state, or local laws. None of that's true, obviously, but it's some pretty deep lore. It's some pretty deep lore. That treaty, they cite literally is only applicable to shipping and ocean trade. They're idiots who can't read. Excuse you, but did you not know that we are always operating under maritime law? This automobile is my seafaring vessel. Do you not know this?
Where the heck could it go?
So I'm saying they're delusional, basically. It's delusion, but with a deep canon. It's like delusion, but with, like, the Star Wars EU books worth of canon. Bolterdash says, How can these waffle heads think all this sovereign citizen stuff works despite all evidence to the contrary? Desperation? Delusion? I don't know. It's a good question.
And just so you know,
sovereign citizen lore versus sovereign citizen gameplay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and wave the flag.
Okay. No, she's doing the thing! I'm not sure on the specifics of this, but I've seen other Moorish citizens try this too. I believe that they think... Because again, people were mentioning that in the original treaty, it's about seafaring vessels, and it's about, you know, ocean trade. I think they think, because I've seen Moorish citizens do this flag thing out of their window before, I think they believe that if they hang a flag as if they are a naval vessel, that this somehow bolsters their case, that this applies to cars. I know, it's...
I don't know how I'm gonna get it to stay there.
You had 9 years and you didn't figure out how you're gonna have the flag stay there? Come on.
Right here.
Yep, just right in the window there. That'll do it.
That's my flag. American flag, the true American flag.
I need to get into the Nation of Islam lore. White people are all genetic experiments that are created to singularly bring down the black people. Jacob is our god. I'll have to look into it someday for like a Tinfoil Tuesday stream.
Were you able to find the document?
No, I think I might have put it underneath the seat, and I can't really grab it right now. It's like a bunch of paperwork. I must have put it in the back seat, in the trunk.
Thank you for the links. I did click on them.
I can't get out. Oh, let me give you this.
I'm imagining on some level he's hoping she's looking for a license and registration, but of course it's Moorish citizen nonsense. It's probably, if I had to guess, a copy of the treaty and some sort of pseudo-legal gibberish about it. Oh shit. I tipped over my can of Coke Zero. Could you get me
oh wait, hold on, let me
toilet paper or
let me put it in the camera real quick.
What is this?
Let me put it in the camera real quick. Give me my property back.
Well, I'll show it to you.
Give me my property back really quick, please.
Okay. Yikes.
So I can put it in the camera, sir. And he won't give my property back.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning.
Name and
Sergeant
badge
Ham with the
number.
Houston Police Department.
Sergeant Ham.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
your badge
How are you
number?
doing today?
Good.
Wait,
What's your badge?
That cop's last name is Ham? Well, that's a lazy joke to make, isn't it? Hydrate will do. Does anyone smell any pork products? Oink, oink.
Badge number, please.
I'm sorry?
Badge number?
I can't hear you.
Your badge number.
Okay, supervisor don't have badge number. It's just Sergeant Ham, ma'am.
Okay, Sergeant Ham. Got you. So he took my property, just so you know.
Okay.
You might want to review that information.
Okay, ma'am. Just give me 1 second.
I also have this.
It's not even a real ID card, but she redacted it.
This information too. I'm waiting to give them this. I don't know that they need it because I gave them my travel card. I asked them if they were familiar with the consular notification manual.
Let's read this. Boy. This nationality and identification card bears the Great Seal of the Moroccan Empire. The bearer of this card is a Moorish American national, which isn't a thing. Gosh, I can't read that very well. In something persona, Aboriginal indigenous to Northwest Amexem, Southwest Amexem, Northwest Africa, North America, the North Gate, including Central America, South America, and the adjoining islands Americana. The bearer of this card is a Muslim. That's how it's spelled, with an O on this card. Muslim, under the divine principles love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors the divine law of the great Quran of Muhammad and all divine prophets, something Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, and Confucius. Moorish American nationals uphold and enforce the supreme law. The divine principles imbued within the North American Republic Constitution for the United States of America and are a citizen of the Moorish nation, Northwest Africa, Northwest Amexem, North America. Woo! Okay. All officers, departments, agents, employees, personnel, and assignments, etc. are bound by oath to uphold and support the Constitution of the United States, or rather, the United States Republic, North America. All statutes, codes, rules, contracts, et al., repugnant to the Constitution are void ab initio pursuant to nature's law, divine law, and affirmed by Article 6 of the Constitution. Wow. In propria persona, thank you. Alrighty then, that's insane. I really want one of these cards with my face on it, just because I think it would be really funny.
He didn't seem familiar. He didn't even. It doesn't even seem like he knew what it was.
No, really? It's almost like this thing that you're invested in and you've presumably spent money on isn't a thing. You've been scammed.
So we gonna prove this shit again. Because the last time I did this shit, I didn't have a camera rolling. I was too nervous and it worked out just fine. Actually, the cop was trying to get a little aggressive. I noticed that he was reaching for his gun and he said, "Oh no, this is my taser." I'm like, "No, taser looks completely different. I'm telling you right now, you are not reaching for your taser, sir. Do you have any intentions of harming me, harming my property, damaging me, killing me? Do you have any intentions of doing any kind of harm to me whatsoever?" And then he got nervous. I asked him to call his supervisor. They also let me go. And it's a federal crime. They pulled me over. He ran my information without any crime, and they have their lights and sirens on. Well, he had the sirens on.
Yeah, sometimes the cops let people like this go, either because the cop is dumb and they're very confused and don't want to deal with it, or they understand it's all bullshit but they don't want to deal with the paperwork, so they just let the person go. I've seen that a couple of times, and that always frustrates me. Like, dang, dude, do your job. Like, come on. You're making these people think what they're doing is real if you just let them go. Skip to when the cop.
In the car.
Okay. Oh,
and clearly, I did. I think it's in the fucking back seat. I really think it's in the back seat. Let's see if I can. Since they're in their car doing whatever they're doing, let's see if I can pull it. See, that she's coming back to me. Okay.
Instead of
You don't even know
pocket
if I'm within your
constitution.
jurisdiction. Hello.
Yep, let me get you your bingo sub. Do 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 do. Gift sub. That should do it. Hydrate. Can he come back anytime soon? I'm just scrubbing forward when he gets back.
What's that?
Bumble Homestead, thanks for 24 months. That's, wow. Happy second anniversary, says sub rolled over 2 years with Hannah. That's, I can't even believe I'm doing this for 2 years. Jesus.
Hello.
Okay, Miss Littles, you can one citation. What's
I'm
that?
Amra.
What's that?
Amra.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. You're getting one citation.
No, I do not accept.
Okay, so they are giving her a ticket. Seems like they're not going to take her car, which is good for her. And it's nice when the cops do that. You know, it's been 9 years. They could probably impound her car. But it is nice that they're just giving her a citation. You can't say no to a citation. That's not how it works. If you disagree with it, you can go to court. You can go to traffic court, and disagree with it in some way. Hope the cop doesn't show up. They might vacate your fine. But no, you gotta take the ticket. The ticket's already in the system. Regardless of whether or not you physically take the ticket has been written.
Okay, that's okay.
I do not accept. You don't have jurisdiction.
Not having valid driver's license, not having proof of financial responsibility, and then your tag's being expired.
I do not accept.
Date, time, and court location all right here. Attach all the pamphlet.
I like that he's just ignoring her completely. Undercover Beast says, sorry for spamming puns, but what a coincidence meeting a cop named Ham. He clearly ain't a chicken when it comes to policing, though. What turkeys his parents were in naming him. Clearly they made a mistake. I wonder if she's gonna grill him on the Constitution. Clearly she has beef with pigs. Hopefully she doesn't butcher it.
I need the name and badge number of all the individuals here.
This
That's
is
gonna cost you $10,000 each of you.
Officer Salih.
No, I asked for.
Do we get a group rate? Could we get like 15,000 for the two of us, since we're taking up the same amount of time? There's just two of us here, you know?
Name and badge number.
And Matthew McMurtry,
8728 Sally SALLE.
Would you like to sign in the yellow box? This is not a plea of guilt. You're saying you're going to show up for court.
Absolutely not. I do not consent.
Okay. Have a safe day, ma'am.
No, I don't want it.
It doesn't matter. They're gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
I do not consent. I'll write down whatever you need. Give me my card. Give me my card. I need my property. I will write down whatever.
That guy's done. That guy's so done. Ham, you take care of it.
I can't hear you.
You can hear me just fine.
I cannot.
She was saying their badge numbers.
Well, I believe that you can.
Just speak up a little bit. I cannot hear you,
believe
ma'am.
that you can.
Well,
I don't want to raise my voice or yell because you might try to say that I'm trying to be combative. I'm not trying to be combative. Can I have my property, please?
Okay. You're also getting a citation. If you,
no, I do not consent.
You
do not have jurisdiction.
Hold on. Just listen real quick.
I do not consent.
If you throw the citation on the ground and you litter, you will be going to jail.
No, I will
Don't
not.
do that.
You don't have
Okay.
jurisdiction.
All right, ma'am.
I am Amra. I do not consent.
I am Amra. I do not consent.
Please do not do that, sir. Do not. You cannot force me to contract with you. You cannot force me.
Have a great day, ma'am.
You cannot force me to contract.
You got it. It's she's holding it technically. We did it. Mission accomplished.
No. I do not consent.
Stick it on the windshield.
Do not consent. I do not consent. You do not have jurisdiction.
She still has the
Hi, ma'am.
flag
Have a
on!
great day. You're also getting a ticket for littering. You don't want this?
I do not consent. You do not have any consent over my situation.
How's that working out?
You do not have jurisdiction.
Nick says, I do not consent. She and Marcel would get along, assuming he can control his use of certain slurs. He can't. He cannot.
This is the card.
Her redacting is really bad.
They can act like they don't know, but they know.
They don't.
Especially the so-called supervisor.
They don't know. This is nonsense.
And I forgot to ask the supervisor if he's familiar with the consular notification manual. And that's what I'm about to ask them when they come back. We're gonna get the consular a part of this conversation.
All right, ma'am. That's for you.
Absolutely
if you
not.
You're already getting another ticket for littering.
Absolutely not. Are you familiar with the consular notification manual?
Ma'am.
Are you familiar with
all right,
the
you have a
consular
great day. You're free to
notification
go.
manual?
Here's your citation.
It's
Go
gonna
on.
cost you $10,000 for this
ma'am.
stop. $10,000.
So 0 chance she pays that, and 0 chance she shows up for the court date. She's gonna get a bench warrant, and she's definitely gonna get pulled over again because of the expired tags that she's not gonna get up to date. So she's gonna end up in prison, or at least she's gonna end up in jail next time she gets pulled over.
$1,000, sir, for this stop. And the motherfucker walked away. Just like I told you, you don't take no fucking contracts. You cannot be forced into contract.
It's not a contract, it's a ticket.
Fucking lying ass bitches.
It's multiple tickets.
Trying to force me. Fuck y'all.
Yikes.
Stupid motherfuckers. Think they can trick me. They gonna fucking trick me. I already know this shit works. Can you fucking tell me?
I already know this works. No, it clearly doesn't.
Motherfuckers. And that's how you do it.
Oh. She thinks she nailed it. That's a shame. That's a real shame. What a bummer. That was from 6 days ago. That was from 6 days ago. Saved. Hold on. Let me see. Aboriginal. What does that say? Al Moricon. Al Moricon. Native travel blog. She's a strange one. Anyway, so that's yeah, that's not gonna work out for her. That's a shame. She's probably gonna end up in jail because of that. I don't know who's misinforming her, but they're responsible for the fact that, you know, she's about to go to jail. It sucks. Moving on. Morok says, like, I'm Lakota and I still need a driver's license registration. I'm under the laws of the land I inhabit. Like, this stuff doesn't work for recognized native tribes. Why does they think it works for them? Good question. I don't know. Sky Comet Goddess says, I'll admit it is refreshing to see a cop treat a black person with basic human decency. Agreed. Maps and Mimic says, we saw the F around. Now we wait for the find out. Indeed. Marcel is still listed on the Manitoba RCMP Most Wanted. He's still on the lam. Yeah, that tracks. One sec. I'm having a really bad heartburn. Ugh. And I don't know if... I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about, like, bras on Twitch. Like, I feel like my bra is, like, exacerbating my heartburn. Anyway. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take some Tums and some other stuff. Baja's gonna get it for me in a sec. Bras are pains. Yeah, I have to wear one with this shirt, though. Otherwise, my nipples are very visible. Meek says, how is Marcel able to evade capture for so long? You'd think someone as volatile as him would be caught by now. You'd think. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Could you get, Tums, too? They're, like, next to my bedside. Sure. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hydrate. Will do. Larry Nassar's judge orders arrest of fake constitutional lawyer who tried to represent client who violated COVID restrictions. A Michigan judge on Friday, why is it Michigan, ordered the arrest of a man who planned to provide legal representation to a defendant charged with flouting pandemic restrictions because the man wasn't licensed to practice law in Michigan or any other state. Ingham County Circuit Judge Rosemarie E. Aquilina, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry, who presided over the high-profile sentencing of disgraced former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar in 2018, laid into Rick Martin while holding him in contempt of court for unauthorized practice of law. Martin had previously filed documents with the court indicating that he would be appearing as assistance of counsel for Marlena Pavlos Hackney despite having no formal legal education whatsoever. H-Baird with 2045 bits says, maybe Marcel is hanging out in the murder room of that house he was trying to fill with 23-year-olds. Maybe. The phrase is an apparent reference to the Sixth Amendment. Martin's group says that's the real term lawyers should go by. Note, the constituent refers to lawyers as assistants of counsel in Amendment 6, his website reads. Pavlos Hackney, the owners of Marlena's Bistro and Pizzeria in Holland, Michigan, was arrested after repeatedly ignoring several cease and desist orders and refusing to comply with state's dine-in ban. According to a report from local news outlet mlive.com, Pavlos Hackney was taken into custody early on Friday morning after she did not turn herself over to authorities on a bench warrant issued earlier in March. But before Aquilina was able to delve into the restaurant's owner's case, she had to deal with Martin, the founder of Texas-based Constitutional Law Group. Based on its website, CLG holds itself out as a group of constitutional lawyers that are experts in constitutional law who wisely and forcefully defend the public of the United States of America regardless of their ability to pay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You doing okay? One sec. Taking some Tums. And omeprazole. Omeprazole. Sponsor me. I need it to not feel like shit. And I forgot to take it earlier. Oh, that already feels better. Oh, I love Tums. Hi, Lou. How are you doing, baby?
She says, unhand me, cretins.
Lou is running from the law. She can't be seen on the internet.
Hello, Father.
Based on its website, oh, I read that one, but CELG appears to be little more than a quasi-religious organization that employs or is connected with few, if any, formally trained or licensed lawyers. The various individuals listed under a law advisor section of the group's website have professional titles ranging from insurance agent to entertainer, businessman to inventor, and controversial international entrepreneur to radio talk show host. The Constitution does not give we the people our rights, our Creator does, Martin says online. On his own LinkedIn page, Martin lists his occupation as a constitutional lawyer as well, though he adds a bit more context in the About section of his website. I am not a bar attorney whose first duty is to the court. I am a constitutional lawyer with over 30,000 hours of law study and courtroom experience, Martin's webpage reads. The abbreviation BAR is a direct reference to a conspiracy theory against lawyer regulation laws. Quote, I am fearless and wise when it comes to taking care of my clients, Martin continues. I go after corrupt clerks posing as so-called judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement offices who violate the public trust in our September 17th, 1787 Constitution for the United States of America. Judge Aquilina would have none of it. According to the local outlet UP Matters, Martin tried to claim he only filed paperwork to represent Pavlos Hackney to provide assistance under the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution because she does have problems understanding the English language. Sir, apparently you have problems with the English language, Aquilina replied, noting that Martin had clearly claimed he was assistance of counsel in the documents filed with the court. There is no other definition, she added before ordering the bailiff to escort him out of the courtroom. Martin's website claims he was unlawfully arrested. His online bio also refers to him as the Judge Slayer. A very serious man. H. Baird says, how much you want to bet that if he'd gotten a second term, Trump would have made this guy a federal judge? The State Bar of Michigan's website contains lengthy resources about the unauthorized practice of law. The applicable regulation which bans the unauthorized practice of law is here. It reads in part, a person shall not practice law or engage in the law business, shall not in any manner whatsoever lead others to believe that he or she is authorized to practice law or to engage in the law business, and shall not in any manner whatsoever represent or designate himself or herself as an attorney and counselor attorney of law or lawyer unless that person is regularly licensed and authorized to practice law within the state. A person who violates this section is guilty of contempt of the Supreme Court and of the Circuit Court of the county in which the violation occurred, and upon conviction is punishable as provided by law. Marcus Drake says, unrelated, but this is a great way to insult a newspaper. Oh, God. And then Moira Soma says, have you tried pantoprazole, KRKA, for your acid problems? It coats the stomach. It is a lot more efficient than Tums. I haven't. I'll check it out. Daily Mail says AOC calls the Supreme Court imperialist for voting to reject Puerto Ricans from getting equal access to benefits as American citizens. AOC says Puerto Ricans are American citizens, you compilation of birdcage lining. Nice. Lawyer licensing laws are basically consumer protection regulations that are designed to ensure that individuals who choose representation end up obtaining effective and competent assistance. Watch the testy exchange below.
We're also not licensed in any other state, is that correct?
Ma'am, may I make a statement?
One sec, I need to turn this up.
We're also not licensed in any other state, is that correct?
Ma'am, may I make a statement?
You may answer my question. Are you licensed in any other state to practice law?
No, I am not.
All right, you're also not licensed in this state. I am, therefore, holding you in contempt and asking officers to arrest you. Contempt carries with it up to 93 days and or $7,500. You are not allowed to practice law in this state. You have formally, by your own hand, told this court you were a lawyer and that you wanted to represent your Klein,
Ma'am, may I make a statement for myself? I don't
what
mean
is
to
your
interrupt.
statement? I'll give you 1 minute.
Okay. Sims versus Ahern clearly states that the practice of law is a law of common law. I was not aware that I would be here other than acting as assistants, not as for lawyers, but as a...
Nick says, not to be a lookist, but this guy looks like someone who indulges in the unauthorized practice of law.
Assistance of counsel in this matter to help her because she does have understanding problems of the English language.
Sir, apparently you have problems with the English language. This says appearance. It is for
Notice of
lawyers.
appearance.
Do not argue with me because what will happen is you'll get another 93 days and then we'll start over. So, sir, you came in here wanting to be assistance of counsel. There is no other definition. It is plain English. You can cite cases all day to me. You're entitled to a hearing. Your rights remain intact. But for today's purposes, you are under arrest for contempt of court, this court. You may be escorted.
I've seen her before in some other law video.
Yeah, thank you.
The judge. God, that Tums made me feel 1,000,000% better.
May I request we'll have a...
Ma'am, I will address you. If you would like to go out of order, we'll start this 93 days from now.
Yikes. Yeah, don't partake of the unauthorized practice of law. Not gonna go well. Not worth. We saw that. Oh no.
Welcome to the free diplomatic immunity course. Take a look around, and when you're ready, enter your best email address to gain instant access on how to secure your natural rights quickly and easily. And I'll see you on the inside.
This is probably a more citizen thing. Some of them claim diplomatic immunity. Yeah, I'll report this as a scam in a second. Yeah.
Welcome to the free diplomatic immunity course. Take a look around, and when you're ready, enter.
Report. Scam. Not even, is there just like a, hold on, scam. Scams are fraud. Asking for email. And saying she can get you diplomatic immunity. She asks for email at 7 seconds in. Boy, what if... Hold on. 7 seconds. Oh. There's a link to 7 seconds into the video. It's a scam. You can report that on YouTube, if you'd like. Simple Cat Girl says, hey Hannah, hope you're having an amazing day. I'm just taking a break for an essay for college on how TERFs are a load of BS. It's going great, and I'm actually having a good time with it. It sucks it's only supposed to be 750 words, because I want to go off. Fun topic. Oopsie. Oh god, this one's an hour long.
Hey there, so this video is going to be about my experiences and history with the law. What I've
Oh, that's good. The first sentence, laws in quotes. That's great.
learned and the things I've gone through with dealing with police and the courts and dealing with charges and being arrested and parking fines, speeding fines, driving with suspended licenses, all that kind of stuff. Just going to share my experience. So by no means is this advice for you to do anything. This is just me sharing my experience, and you can make of this information as you will. So I moved up to Queensland, Gold Coast, November 2020. I'd left Victoria, and I had there's probably as many enough speeding fines to create a bonfire, enough parking tickets to make a roll of toilet paper out of.
Stop driving, you psycho! Why are you speeding so often? Looks like you're in a big van too, and you're speeding? The laws of physics say hello! You're a giant speeding large mass. You're gonna get someone killed.
And all these things really didn't bother me. In the beginning, I was just writing letters to them. I was using Mike Palmer's Know Your Rights group, writing those letters, and then I started writing a few of my own, just asking for, conditional acceptance. If they could provide evidence that they had jurisdiction over me as a man, then I'd be happy to pay those fines. But obviously that's impossible, as they don't. Once you know your true status, what you are, your beingness, as a spirit that is just here temporarily, and I diverge. So it got to the point where I just was ignoring them.
Did he mean digress?
And I still am, because I really have better things to do in my day than replying to fines, and they just stop. I had so many fines, and my car was in a
I mean, they probably stopped because they just issued some sort of bench warrant for you. You're gonna get arrested.
Company name, so instead of it being $200, it'd be $2,000. So there was probably $50,000 plus of fines. In the beginning, when you don't know any of this stuff, you look at it, you get anxious and scared. There's that fear response, which is exactly what they've programmed humans and you to be. Just a fear response entity that leeches all this energy that they can feed off. Fear and guilt and anxiety, suffering. And, I just got to the point, I got another fine, I'm like, oh, okay. Throw it in the bin. I really don't care. I'll put it in the pile, stick it on a wall one day and make a memorabilia out of it. But, yeah, I don't even see all those fines from Victoria. And then I moved up to Queensland, and then April of 2021, I went through a red light. I went through a yellow light.
What is this? I went through what's referred to by you normies as a red light. It's a red light! Red light! Stop!
It turned red when I went through, and then I had a cop van start to chase me. So I was like, fuck, I don't want these bastards to pull me over. I know what they're like. This is after
I committed what some people call a murder.
after they had broken into my home in Victoria and assaulted me for absolutely no reason. So I knew the nature of these things, that war.
Nick says, somehow this guy gives me vibes that he doesn't follow any kind of red light, literal or metaphorical. Oof.
Costumes. And, I was going down some back streets and trying to get away from him. And obviously I was in a Mustang at the time, so I really wanted to get away.
Wait, so you're saying you ran from the police? You were involved in a high-speed police chase, is what you're describing right now?
Way I would have got away, but I was like, shit, this is a bit dangerous. Okay, I'll just pull over.
Speeding away from the cops in pursuit. Oh boy, this is a bit dangerous. Yeah, it is. I agree.
2 cops got out of the car, and they're like, oh, you're under arrest, put the handcuffs on, I was like, okay, whatever. And just started talking to him. And they wanted to search my car and ask me questions. So you do the normal thing you do when you talk to them.
When you are involved in a high-speed chase with the police, the normal thing you do. Just an everyday occurrence. Sky Comet Fallen says, or Sky Calling Goddess, rather, says, you're a jackass. There are other people on the road. Quit being such an a-hole.
Police, you just... To summarize, everything you do is just to be real. Just to be natural. Like, I've gone away from needing a script, needing scripted response, or you have to say this, you have to say it. Just be real. And if you don't understand that, being real means understanding what you are. Sovereign. You are powerful. You recognize and you're aware of the injustice and the inversion, the falsity, the fakeness of this illusion that we call the world. It's an illusion. A holographic, illusory world that is not real on so many different layers. And you are your highest ultimate authority. You judge yourself. You know when you have done something wrong, and you know.
Oh, that's horrifying. No one can keep me accountable. Only I can tell myself when I've done wrong. That's a psychotic way of looking at the world. It's good to have your own, like, sense of morality, of course, and to keep yourself accountable to that morality, but, like, you are not the end-all be-all of what is right and wrong. Other people exist in the world. This isn't solipsism. What are you doing? No, you psychopath! Nick says, mother effer, you're so close to violating other people's sovereignty by killing one of them with your reckless driving.
When you have not. They have a system of legislation for corporate entities, for persons, for dead people who have given away their responsibility to manage their free will and their power and their awareness, and they want to be asleep. They want to be dead entities. They want to be sheep. They want to be slaves. That is what corporate legislation is for. Once you realize you're awake, or you desire to...
I want to talk to this guy. When was this video posted? Can I, like, email him? This guy feels interesting. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but some days you just know you found someone special for your stream. I felt it when we watched Peter for the first time. I felt it when we watched Marcel. Felt it when I watched Call. I think I feel it here. I want to talk to this guy.
Wake up, but that's your intention. Your intention is to remember your true power, your sovereignty. You are a god amongst gods.
Oh no! He thinks he's a god! Does he, hold on, does he have a business email I can contact? About? He has a Facebook. Oh boy, hold on, let me save him here too. I'm gonna turn the screen off while I DM him to see if he wants to maybe come on sometime and talk. Oh god, he was in the Australian Army. Oh no. Message sent.
Then you are free to choose what you are guided by. You don't have to be guided by anything. There's no right or wrong there.
You watch Ghostbusters, telling people you're a god is a legit thing? Only if that person is an ancient Kandarian demon who's about to unleash horrors upon the world.
It's just, you are the choice. You are a supreme being. You can choose if you want to be dead asleep and follow corporate legislation. You can choose if you want to follow the Magna Carta or the Constitution or this guy or that guy's system. It's your choice. You have free will. You are a conscious being, an awareness. It just depends on what resonates with you. And what resonates with me is natural law, because I believe in this world it's a good idea to rule or run my life according to these set guidelines or these.
Sky Come Up Fallen said, oh, there was just a link. Let me find it. If it'll load. Wow. That's a lot for a 4-second clip. My internet didn't die, did it? Tucker White says, what the F is, quote, natural law, unquote? A lot of the sovereign citizen types define that as either some sort of immutable physical law, like the laws of physics, or more commonly, the law of God. That video won't load, but it's the liar liar clip. It won't load for some reason.
He set laws, 4 laws of natural law. Create no loss, create no harm, be honest and ethical in your dealings, maintain the peace. Why do I follow those? Because that's how I want to be treated. I don't want people to go around hurting me for no reason. I don't want people to steal my shit. I don't want people to deceive or manipulate me into dodgy deals or contracts or agreements. And I don't want people to just come up to me and start pissing me off and violating my peace for no reason. So that's why I choose to follow those laws. Because at this point in time, that's the highest laws I can see. 4 laws, very simple. Or you could break it down to 1. Treat others as you wish to be treated.
Yeah, that's not the only law.
Unless you're a demented, sadistic psychopath. And you probably like to be treated very horribly, therefore you would treat other people horribly. This is coming from...
That would be a masochistic psychopath.
Someone who is of a sane...
A sadistic psychopath wants to hurt other people, not necessarily be hurt.
And rational, reasonable mind. And so, I was saying my thing to these cops who arrested me, is in Burley Heads actually. And then eventually they just said, they were like, oh, do you realize your license was suspended by Spur 6 days ago? And Spur is some, you know, another fake organization up here in Queensland that deals with fines, something like that.
I'm assuming they're not a fake organization.
And I was like, oh, really? I thought that was suspended months ago. Okay. I don't care. Like, oh, do you plan on still driving after this? Yeah, obviously, I've got a life to live. I need my car to drive around to do things.
You should probably register it then and, you know, have all your information up to date and pay your tickets.
Duh. You know, I'm a safe, responsible, and respectful driver.
You just said you had a mountain of speeding tickets and parking tickets this high.
I don't drive all pissed and go around crashing into things. I don't cause accidents. I don't come close to causing accidents. Of course I'm going to drive, you moron. What a stupid question to ask. If you're so concerned about it, I'll prove my ability to you at a test. Anyway, that comes later. So, what else did they say? And the cop was basically just like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen if you drive away after here. If some other cop pulls you over, yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, thanks. Just kept on speaking. Nothing really important was said apart from the worst cop was like, okay, you got to go to the station and get your fingerprints taken. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that, man. It's not happening. And he's like, oh, well, we can do it now or you can do it in a week. I'm like, okay, I'll do it in a week. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. And he's
he's admitting to just, like, not following the law.
Like, oh, yeah, you got to go to court for driving a suspended license and going through a red light. Okay, whatever. And so then I didn't end up going to court for the first few times. I didn't go get my fingerprints taken. And then some other incident happened, which I'm not going to go into detail about, but I got arrested and had to sign a bail, and they wanted me to check.
Please go into detail.
In to a police station once a week. And, you know, then I decided, okay, I'm going to go to court. I'm going to go to court and, you know, get into this field, start settling it. Because I had anxiety and fear about going to court. I was apprehensive, as I assume most people are before going into that environment, that situation. They have created in a particular way to elicit a fear response from people, because then that allows them to more easily assume a position of power, authority, and control to extract energy from you that suits their needs. That's what they do. And to adjust your behavior to one that is complementary to their system of domination. So yeah, I went to court, ended up going to court about those charges, and there was a few other charges. Ended up going multiple times, about 10 times or something, right? And practically every time I'd go, they'd just say, you know, they want you to get into the name trap. They say, oh, are you this person? Are you this person? And so in my
It's not a trap. They're just trying to identify you. It's a formality.
head, I've already disidentified with my name. I just use James as a tool.
I've disidentified with my name. I just use James as a tool. You know what? For once we're on the same page, I also think James is a tool.
This name. That's what they give horses, right? Discussion for another time. And because I have no name, I can choose to have a name, but I know in this world having a name really isn't a good thing because they just use it against you. But in another way, it's kind of necessary to have a name. If you're amongst friends in a large crowd and someone's trying to call you out, it makes it easier if you have a specific name that they can reach you with. And for all sorts of other reasons, we know a name is useful in this world, this reality we've found ourselves in. But the system uses your name against you. They use that identity against you. So, you know, as a immortal, eternal, spiritual being that is formless, that is beyond space and time, like, I really don't have a name. I can choose to embody a name and be a character of a...
I want nothing. I did message this guy. Do you know how happy I'm gonna be if he agrees to come on stream? Why does this make me happy? Why is this the dragon I'm chasing in my life? Wanting ever crazier people to come on and talk to them. What is... It's like I have a mental malfunction where I get joy out of delving into the depths of the minds of the just absolutely insane. I'm like Will Graham, but not mysterious or cool. Just sad. Why?
A specific time and space. Right, okay, I can do that, but that's not really what I am. That's kind of what I'm pretending to be. So, energetically, that's all happening inside my mind. When they say, are you, blah, 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 I just say, just James is fine. I don't want to get into argument, I don't want to get into challenge and start causing controversy, get thrown into the watch house and not get anywhere with this. I want to play the game as much as what works, if that makes sense. I'll get into that more later. So, whenever they ask the name, I just say, just James is fine. That's...
Ashiboo says, they're interesting people, you're just interested in their psychology, which is very intellectual of you. It's not, though, because I'm not a psychologist. I wanted to be, and I went to college for a little while, but I dropped out, so I have no expertise that would inform anything I learn about these people. I'm just a weirdo on the internet. I don't get it.
Cool, you can just call me that, and sometimes like, oh, this is a formal court, we don't just do that, no. Okay. A lot of the time I just don't even respond with anything, because it's like, I don't need to respond. I'm only going to respond when necessary. And then they ask, are you guilty or not guilty? That's the question. Whatever case it is, they don't ask, did you do it or did you not do it?
It's the same thing. They're just using formal language to ensure that it's clear what's being said. They're saying, are you guilty of this crime? That crime specifically being what you are charged with, or are you not guilty? I don't know if no contest is a thing where he is. He's clearly in Australia. I think he said he's somewhere near Queensland or something. So I don't know. But, like, guilty or not guilty means, did you do the crime you are charged with or not? It's just a formal way of doing it because courtrooms are a very formal setting. Meek says, set a stream goal and we'll pay for your bachelors. Yeah, that'd be nice. You guys gonna give me tens of thousands of dollars? You have a bachelor's and I'm dead on with this guy? That's good. Cruelty says, one day we shall all be part of Hannah's doctoral thesis, probing the minds of YouTube loons in the early 20th century. That's true. This whole stream has just been an experiment. It's part of my experimental psych doctoral thesis. Thank you all for participating. I appreciate it. Tucker White says, so Lord Soros does Holy Trinity gesture. Blessed be his name, not let you look in his big book of everything. Can your thesis be on Daddy Sume? I think that would be the first thesis ever written that requires an ID to ensure that you're allowed to check it out of the library to make sure that you're over 18.
They say, are you guilty
Hydrate.
or not guilty? And it's like, well, no, I'm not guilty. Because guilt is an emotional state of mind. I don't feel any guilt for speeding or going through a red light.
The appendix, is the appendix the part you attach pictures and stuff to? The appendix of that dissertation, every figure in that appendix would be furry pornography. It would be very unfortunate.
Or driving a suspended license or doing this or that. Because no, I haven't broken any natural laws, which means I haven't committed a crime. There is no victim. I haven't hurt anyone. So the three things that always go over: I haven't hurt anyone, had no intention to hurt anyone.
It doesn't really matter what your intentions were in this case. Like, there are crimes that are dangerous because they might result in that activity hurting someone. It doesn't matter if you didn't hurt someone. Speeding is a crime because it's a dangerous activity that can, hurt someone. So it's an incentive, or rather it disincentivizes people from participating in activities that could cause harm.
Didn't come close to even accidentally hurting someone. That it's a non-case then. It's nothing. It's petty and trivial. I don't know why we're here. Coincidentally, what I said yesterday when I was at court too. But, oh, where was I going? Yeah, so not guilty. Not guilty. And they go, oh, okay, alright. Because they're looking for that guilt. They want that guilt. You gotta understand, these people feed on that shit.
I mean, prosecutors do. We have an adversarial legal system in the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia, at least, have adversarial legal systems with a prosecution and a defense, which I talked about earlier in the stream, because, you know, the ones that are former colonies of the UK base their legal system upon that of the UK, which has an adversarial legal system. But your defense absolutely does not want you to be found guilty. At least that's the purpose. Like, sorry, it seems like you did it. You've admitted to many crimes here, so... But, no, your defense lawyer is there to have your back.
The things that control these people that set up this whole illusory, magical, fake world, right? For whatever reason, they use it as food or drugs or fuel or something, right? And they need that energy. They want that guilt. Guilt is, it's like a fire starter to them. Kindling. They love it. They need it. And when you're not guilty...
So you think, like, barristers and judges and stuff get super, like, law horny over the idea of guilt? They're like, ooh, we're gonna get him guilty. Ooh, guilty. Wait, where's my gavel? Ooh. Ah, guilty.
Guilty. Well, makes it difficult for him. And I'm not guilty because I'd only feel guilt about something.
I regret that.
Say, I deliberately went out of my way to break the trust of a friend. You know, my best mate, I cheated. I had sex with his wife or something.
This is a hypothetical, right?
Trust of a friend.
I didn't fillet the gavel, I just licked it a little, okay? That doesn't count.
Friend. You know, my best mate, I cheated. I had sex with his wife or something. You know, I did something that was really bad that I would judge myself as...
It's a hypothetical. Morak says, if I had to wager, this guy thinks judges are like aliens or demons who feed on fear and guilt. Possible.
Wrong, right? Or breaking a natural law, not being honest and ethical in my dealings. I did something I knew would be deliberately really bad. Then perhaps I would feel guilt, right? Until the point of atonement, of fixing that problem. But if it's simply breaking one of their rules, well, their rules don't apply to me.
That's a horrifying admission he just said about how he feels about his contempt for the law in general. So basically he's saying if you don't personally care about something, then that law does not apply to you. That's awful. Sky Comet Goddess says, wow, he just admitted he's a psychopath or sociopath. Yeah. Very, 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 very strange. Like, by his own standard, let's say someone's like a pedophile, right? By his standard, whatever that individual does that is illegal can't be considered illegal because that person doesn't think it's wrong. Or like a psychopathic murderer can't be found guilty because they don't think what they did is wrong.
Because they're just rules for employees or slaves of their corporations, their companies. They don't apply to me. I haven't actually done anything wrong. Again, even if I went through a fully red light, was it safe to do so? Well, yeah, I'm not going to do it if it's not safe to do so.
Maybe I did run a red light, but so what? It was fine.
Imagine the whole government and the system collapse tomorrow. Do you think everyone's just going to start driving on the right-hand side of the road? No! That's silly. Like, you're not...
Okay, but the society hasn't even broken down and you're already breaking the laws. That completely goes against what you just said. Like, I'd imagine if the government disappeared tomorrow, but the stoplights were still working, people would still follow the stoplights. But the government is still in place and you're not even following the stoplights. Do you see the issue?
If there's a queue, you're still going to wait in line at the queue. You're not going to start cutting in. Because there's just things that are common sense. You don't need laws for that kind of stuff. Just common sense, or basic rules. Just makes it easier to live by. That's why it's called law, L-O-R-E. That's where law, L-A-W, is derivative from.
Let's see what the etymology of law is. Law. Etymology. Nope. Looks like it comes from the Old Norse lag, something laid down or fixed, which turned into the Old English lagu, which became English lay, which became law. Or rather, yeah, that sounds about right. So no, he's wrong. Law does not appear to come from lore. DM Trey says same energy. I've seen the clip. It's funny. We've watched it on stream before. I might have to cut that part out, though, unfortunately.
In this context, it is. Law is just a kind of a characterized set of behaviors and standards of moral responsibility and way of being, a way of doing things in...
Which we, in, like, democratic nations, which we use representative government to enshrine and then enforce through things like courts and police. Yes?
In a certain environment, whether it's a computer game or a world or a workplace, of making it easy as possible for you to function. That's what law is. L-O-R-E. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So, I know that in my heart, I know that in my mind. Not guilty. Haven't done anything wrong. I'm powerful. Very powerful in that knowingness. Because it's the truth. It's reality. Doesn't matter how much fictional bullshit or intimidation or threats or excuses or reasonings or different methods they try and push against me. It's not going to change what I know. What the truth is, because the truth is the truth. They use all their illusory tactics to try and get you to submit. And you just think, oh, it'd be just easier, it'd be quicker if I just gave up. If I just said, oh, I'm guilty, so I can get a punishment and get this done.
You're gonna end up in jail.
Out of the way, because I don't want to keep coming back to court. It's so hard, it's so scary. I've got to keep thinking about the dates and I get apprehensive and anxious. Like, no. Like, change your attitude. Be grateful for the opportunity to be blessed with this information, with these opportunities of dealing with this shit. Because learning about this kind of stuff, it carries on to much deeper stuff, matrix stuff, right? another video. So I say I'm not guilty, I just tell the truth. And then they ask me what I want to happen with these charges. And I just say I'd like them dismissed, please. You know, I'm happy to explain what happened, if you'd like to know that. But I just want them dismissed. Oh, okay, we'll take note of that. Oh, we can't do it just like that. We need to go through due process. We need to do this and do that. Okay.
Holy shit! Thank you for the raid! Wow, that is a big raid. Oh shit. Hi everyone! I'm Hannah. Thank you everyone who's following. I'm a trans leftist streamer. I cover all sorts of stuff. Politics. I debunk conspiracy theories, which often tie into right-wing politics these days. Today we're looking at sovereign citizens, people who basically believe that through a series of pseudo-legal nonsense that they can themselves get away from following the law, like having driver's licenses and stuff. It's very interesting. Welcome. Please go and follow Keffels here on Twitch. Can I get a link in the chat? I'm sure if you're here, now most of my audience here right now is from the raid. That was a huge raid. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I hope you had a good stream. Right now we're watching an Australian gentleman who is... How do I put this? He seems like a psychopath, so that's a lot of fun. Oh no, Rachiology says, for those who just joined, here's a clip of what we were watching earlier. My gavel. No! Don't do the lick. Ooh. Fine. Guilty. That lick, I don't remember that lick being that long. I thought the lick was much quicker than that. Frankly, I think this has been deep faked. That's a deep fake. I didn't lick that gavel that long. I licked it, but way quicker, okay? It was just a quick lick. Yeah. Okay, anyway, welcome everyone.
Alright, whatever. Because if I keep arguing with them, they're just gonna lock me up. It's like, I don't want that. So I'm just doing my thing. Mind you, I'm still in a trial and error stage. I'm just testing things. I've not perfected any system yet.
Yeah, because your system is just that you don't think the law applies to you. You ran a red light. You're gonna get a ticket. Go pay the ticket. Go pay the ticket.
I'm just going with the flow of what's right, what's real, and what's true. That's all I'm doing, and just seeing what happens.
If you want to see any of my, since we did a large raid, I really, really appreciate that again. You can follow my YouTube channel as well if you'd like. YouTube, there's a link in the chat. YouTube.com/HannahReloaded. My past streams are all archived there, including lots and lots and lots of stream highlights. So just each topic in its own thing. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.
And so we'll just keep going. They keep adjourning it, saying they need to go to mention or case conferencing or hearings, move it to this court, and then it's going to go to trial, and then a hearing, and all these other fancy words and silly things that they do. And I'm just like, okay.
Hearing isn't a fancy word. It's just what they call, like, when you have to show up for different things before your trial.
Just here, yep, ask me again.
Nerny, thanks for 10 months, says 10 months. Pog, hydrate.
You guilty? Yeah, still not guilty. Still not guilty, because, again, they're testing you as well. They're testing you. You know, because some people might say not guilty the first 3 times, and then the 4th time they say, yeah, guilty, I want to get it done. I'm over and done with. And they've won. So, kept going backwards and forwards, and then eventually, about the 10th time or something, rocked up about an hour and a half late, as you do. You really should, because there's so many other cases they go through first, and they deal with all the people.
He showed up an hour and a half late to court. Here's a tip. If you have a court date, which I hope you don't, I really don't, not fun. Can't say I've ever been on that end of it. So I never have had to go to court for anything other than my name change, which I did last year, which was fine. Don't show up late to court. Don't show up late to court. You know what they don't like? Showing up late to court. The judge is not going to be happy that you wasted their time. Sort of something. Thanks for 7 months with Prime, says take my Bezos money. I will, and I won't even start a private space program with it. You're welcome.
Who have lawyers and are being represented, whereas you just present yourself because you've got a fucking mouth and you can use it, you can speak for yourself. This whole concept and idea that you need to pay someone else to speak for you Oh, gross. Just a disgusting, horrible concept. Just, you are so stupid. You are so worthless. You need to pay someone else to speak on your behalf. What the actual fuck? That is madness. Absolute madness.
It's not madness. Here's the thing. Our legal systems are very complex and very deep, right? So no one person who's just someone who does any other job, whether you're a baker, whether you're a candlestick maker, whether you do whatever your job happens to be, if you're not a lawyer, it's not reasonable to assume that you know the intricacies of not only the law but courtroom procedure, which is why we have people who are specifically trained and go to school for a very long time and have to pass the bar exam, at least in the United States, in order to ensure that they understand the law well enough to reasonably give people defense, or, I guess, prosecution, in order to make sure that the legal system works because of this adversarial legal system that we're working with. It's not crazy that you need to have someone else speak for you. It's responsible because you cannot give yourself an adequate defense. In the United States, luckily, we are afforded the right to an attorney. I don't know what the case is in Australia. I'd hope it is. SJ42, thanks for subscribing with Prime. I appreciate that. But it's for your own good. The person who is their own lawyer has a fool for a client. Never defend yourself pro se in court. You're gonna lose. Don't do it. Brodens with 100 bits says, so the law advice so far. 1. Laws don't matter if you don't care about them. 2. Show up to your court date 2 hours late. 3. You don't need a lawyer. You got this. Yeah, honestly, if you need law advice and you're not gonna get a lawyer, I would suggest you watch this video and do the opposite of everything he says. Then you'll be on the right track, which will in fact get you a lawyer, since he says not to, which is even better. So,
like, and that they've tricked people and created a system based upon that. It's just horrific. Fuck this world. But lucky for you, you can speak for yourself. So forget about all that bullshit and move past it. Speak for yourself. You've got a mouth, use it. Hour and a half late, I walk in, saying hi to the security guards. Police prosecutor walks out at the same time I'm walking in, and he says, "Oh, are you James?" And I say, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh, we've just dismissed those charges for you." I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay, well, which ones?" And he's like, "Yep, the driving with suspended license." So from that incident where I got arrested in Burley Heads by those 2 cops who wanted me to go get my fingerprints taken, driving through red light, suspended license, they all got dismissed. I wasn't even there. It was an hour and a half late and they dismissed it, and 4 breaches of bail, because with some other charges they expected me or wanted me to check into the police station once a week. And so I saw that as a good opportunity to work on my emotional control.
Okay, I don't usually like to accuse the people we watch of outright lying, but this is going to be a case where I'm going to go, I just don't think this is true. I don't believe you failed to show up for court decreed like probation. You didn't show up like you were supposed to. Had other charges that you didn't show up for until an hour and a half later, and they dismissed all of them? That sounds like bullshit to me.
Which is great. So once a week, every Friday, go in there, walking into the police station to keep cool, to keep focused, not let my heart rate change, be present to the moment, because what happens often is we future catastrophize. We move out of the present moment into the future, and we start creating holograms inside of our mind of potential future realities. They would say this, and then I say that.
Does he think your imagination is a hologram? I love this man. If he doesn't respond to my message and show up to talk to me, what am I even doing this for? What's even the point of my stream?
What if they say this, I would say that. It's the ego trying to defend itself. The ego is very sensitive. But when you can take over and be present and be on your power, you go, I just trust myself to do what's right in the moment. Boom. Stay grounded. Oh, those feelings go away. Obviously it takes a lot of practice. I'm still working on it. improving all the time. But that's the goal, to get to the point when you can have total focus all the time and not allow this body to influence you. You can overcome its weaknesses. You can be in control, not allow your emotions to be affected by their systems and their intimidations and their threats.
It's not... I guess you could argue about the entire legal system in theory being some sort of coercive threat, but at the end of the day, it's not the same as someone coming up on the street and threatening to hurt you if you don't hand them your wallet. I guess unless you're a libertarian, then you might think that. But no, it's more like we as a society elected people to make laws to ensure the society itself is safer, and therefore you are bound by the social contract and the law to follow those legislations? Like, it's not coercive in any more than any other socially held thing is, except also you go to jail if you don't follow it. But that's just kind of how things are. Jacob Aces, thanks for 16 months of Prime. Are we talking about sovereign citizens? We sure are.
Even if they're trying to kill you, still be level. Still be in control of your emotions. Literally, if they're even trying to kill you. Or lock you up for all your life. Still be focused and centered. Nothing. Don't let anything sway you. It's when you're truly powerful. Yeah, he said it was all dismissed, 4 breaches of bail, just because with that checking in, sometimes I just forgotten to go check in. Most of the time I did, but sometimes I just forgot, and every time I wouldn't go in, they'd give me a breach of bail. Or one time, actually, I notified them in advance I was going to not be able to check in because I was doing a Vipassana silent meditation retreat for 10 days and I'd be away.
Oh, they love that. I can't show up. I'm doing a silent meditation retreat, so I'm just not going to show up for, like, my court-appointed probation or whatever. Cool. That sounds awesome. Hydrate.
Wouldn't be able to check in. Like, oh yeah, you just gotta need to get permission from the boss to do that. Here, fill out this form. I'm like, okay, sure, fill it out.
Does he live in an RV? It kind of looks like, not quite an RV, but it looks like a big, like, van. Like those kind of van bus things. I'm not positive, though.
Come back the next week. Oh, unfortunately, the boss said, yeah, you're not allowed to go. Okay. I'm going anyway. Oh, yeah, we'll just get breached. Alright. Cheers. See ya. Practically verbatim what happened then. You know, walk out, do the meditation, come back. Oh yeah, yep, you're gonna get charged. You got these breaches of bail. Okay, you know. And then on that same day, actually, when I went to court,
Raiders, would you like to meet Lou? Lou, come here. You are needed on camera. Ugh. This is Lou. She is our beautiful baby, and she is fat. But you are losing weight, aren't you, Lou? Yeah? And you are not happy. Oh.
And they dismissed those charges, or the police prosecutor just told me they'd dismissed it all. I'd actually got another breach of bail that day, just because I forgot to call when I was coming back from Sunshine Coast to say.
Is it short for Lucifer? If she's being bad, I call her Lucifer, but no, her name is Lupine. It's a scientific name for a kind of plant. All our kitties are named after the specific family of plants. I think it's like the pea family.
And the police officer was saying to me, yeah, we've got to give you a breach of bail because you didn't come last week. I'm like, really? I don't want you to waste your time. I don't keep those things that you give me. They write on a piece of paper. I'm like, I don't keep them.
Oliver Oliveri. His full name is Oliveri.
And normally you just give them to the magistrate. The magistrate asks me what I want to do with them. And I say I just want them dismissed. And you know, the magistrates are pretty cruisy. That's literally what I said. She's like, oh yeah, we still have to do it. We still have to do it. I'm like, okay, you know, hands me the breach of bail. I walk out, put it in the bin. And yeah, go on my day. I'm actually still dealing with that breach of bail. That's why I was at court yesterday. And it'll just get to the point where they're just going to dismiss it. Because I'm like, yep, not guilty. I'm happy to go to trial. You know, get your brief of evidence. I don't care. Like, I'm not even sorry. I'm not even sorry. Because nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. It's no big deal. That's what I was saying to the police prosecutor yesterday. I'm like, I don't even know why this is here. Why is this at court? Nothing has happened. I just forgot to notify them. I forgot to go. I'm here now. So
Okay.
people like
I
to
think
inflict-
I'm done with this video for now. I did message this guy, like I said, so hopefully he'll message me back and we can have him on to talk about why he thinks the law doesn't apply to him, which would be pretty interesting. He's been doing this for a year, so I guess we'll find out. Hopefully he'll message me back. Let's move on to something else. Oh god, delete laws. Do we need to watch delete laws? Delete laws is an individual that calls himself an activist for police reform. Not even police reform, getting rid of the police altogether, which I believe the police need, like, reformation. I believe the police have huge issues and need to be completely overhauled and everything, and our entire idea of the police's place in society needs to change and all that. But he is a psycho, and he is, how do I put this? Not good. He's going to explain now how he wants basically a totalitarian police state of a different name in which everyone is being filmed all the time. So let's see how this goes.
Imagine a world that didn't have the terms law enforcer or police or cop. Imagine a world that the way you identified what authority was by what they were wearing on their head.
You've just reinvented the police. H. Baird says, has anyone ever seen delete laws and Vanilla Ice in the same place at the same time? I'm just saying. That's true.
And just imagine, for just a moment, if you could just imagine.
Now, this is not the guy who moved to Mexico. That's Gavin.
Imagine that behind these lenses, there was cameras that went out in 6 different directions. And these goggles right here with these particular kind of glasses, that the new agency that's in authority, they don't wear a gun or a badge.
The glasses would basically be a badge, though. You're still using something as an identification of authority.
They wear...
And hey, let me be clear. I would think it'd be great if cops were wearing cameras all the time that could see all around them. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the more accountability we have for the police, the better. But I don't understand how he thinks that he's doing some sort of, like, anarchist no police thing while also having police. It's still police. You've just reinvented the police. Bumble Homestead says, walk away for a few minutes and come back to Hannah watching an evil Tron man.
Wear a headset like this one, but to get one like this that has cameras pointing in 6 different directions, that goes to both transparency and also goes to the Montesquieu for checks and balances, 2 different agencies see what I see at all times. My headphones are a beacon for drones in a decentralized, transparent, free country.
What are you talking about? Your headset will be a beacon for drones?
Transparency. When this person comes on the scene, you realize everybody's watching. We get bonuses by not violating your rights because this goes to 2 different agencies at the same time. No need for a uniform, no need to scream.
The headset would be a uniform! What does he think a uniform is?
Scream and yell.
Does he think it's only a uniform if it's, like, blue and has, like, a badge? It's a uniform if you're all wearing it.
I am transparency. The judge could be watching this. Who will be in charge of your sentence? A new day has dawned. We're looking at something that is possible now, that can be done now. What happens? You see 20 cops on the scene for
Yeah, he's kind of describing a Judge Dredd uniform a little bit.
someone who was jaywalking. You know what? I'm not going to say anything else until all the graphics are done. But I want you to think about a new reality.
Yuka Racing, thanks for subscribing at Tier 1. Ooh, we're one thing away from a hype train.
That we could do now. All that equipment that they have, all that ridiculous Fallujah! It's not happening. Someone shot a gun in Brooklyn, in New York, and oh my God. Oh my God. Right? But even still, nobody with a machine gun helped. It's ridiculous.
What is he talking about?
Transparency is the way. Transparency is the new future. And so,
Fuser X,
in the
thanks
great
for
state of
subscribing.
Ohio,
Now we're in a hype train. Purple Princess, or Princess Purple rather, thanks for 90 bits.
by 2026, this is what I'll implement as governor. Where people see
Wait, is he running for governor now?
what's going on, and we don't, I'm not going to say anything else. And then I will get out of this, and I will talk about solving Ironton.
What is he talking about? Brodens, thanks for 100 bits.
Okay, so now, with that, what I want to say is, I'll be laying out a full, complete version of the ins and outs of how the new system works. That's based 100% on transparency in a decentralized, transparent force, that the video footage goes back to a centralized location, to several centralized, to a you want to have more than 2 hubs where they get all that data. You want to split that data between a few different hubs of the same organization for transparency. So that's what's going to be coming up. That'll be.
I guess at this point, I don't understand why you wouldn't just have all the stuff automatically, like, uploaded to the internet for, like, the public to look at it. I don't know. Rageology with 100 bits says, hype. Metal Giga with 45 bits says, this is the worst ASMR. Princess Purple, thanks for subscribing. Level 1 of the hype train complete.
Be coming up.
Thanks for people who are subscribing for the first time. I appreciate it.
By this weekend. I've met some people online. I'll give them a shout out, but I can't remember their username. Hold on a second.
Sky Comet Goddess says he needs a psychiatrist.
But there's just so many things that have to happen. We have to end all home invasions. That has to come to an end. We have to end all attack dogs. We don't need attack dogs in America. Nobody needs to be attacked with a dog. If you're a cop and you need to ride around with an attack dog, we don't need you because you can't help yourself.
I don't disagree about police use of force. I think that's the weird part of the video. Now
Already to be a civil servant.
One of his audit videos. Nerny, thanks for gifting a sub, because his auditing videos are the weirdest. 11 minutes in, he says, to start this. I don't know why he doesn't just edit his videos. An antipsychotic. Broden says, let's keep it going. 57% to level 2.
Sarah has court at 4 o'clock. Perhaps.
Why are you closed? Evil Dead guy with a link. I can't play a clip from Judge Dredd. Copyright. I am the law. Oh my god. We get it. Yeah, the headphones bother me too. I don't know why he wears the headphones all the time. It's annoying.
Nothing. There's got to be a way to get into this police department here. I don't know why they're ducking. Yes, I do.
Lou, do you want
Doesn't
on the
mean anything,
desk?
So
It's okay. Lil Moni, thank you for gifting us up. 85% to level 2.
Ma'am, is there a way to get into that police department?
You have to go out back and
Okay.
under the whatever that blue awning or something.
Is there a way to call there or anything?
No idea.
Okay.
I have nothing
Okay.
to do with the city, so
I
don't
got you.
know.
I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see.
Let me preempt. I know this is a lot of cans of Coke. I need to gather them. I know. I'm just trying to do a cat cam.
Sorry, fellas. I'm just trying to get into the police department here. As usual, it doesn't look like they're allowing access to the police, of course, because, you know, I don't understand why they don't let us have a conversation here, because I'm not sure what's going on. Is it 4 o'clock? It's not 4 o'clock yet, is it? Reports of crimes, file criminal complaint. I'd like to file a criminal complaint. Are you a police officer? No. Is there a way to get access to the police officers? I want to file a complaint.
I feel like the phrase, I want to get access to the police officers, is not what you want to start out with when you're looking for a way into the police station. Brodens, thanks for 420 bits. H. Baird says, with that much coke, Don Jr. will be there any minute. Level 2 complete. Oh no, Lou.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to file a complaint.
Is that door not open?
It does not open. I tried it. I gave it the old college try here. This one's open.
Baby. Lay it down and do not lay on
then-
keyboard. Hydrate.
That one doesn't let you in, so.
I'm hydrating, you just can't see it.
I'm not
'cause-
sure why they. I
yeah.
want to file a complaint.
Yeah, I thought there was a push button out here, but I think it's in the log. Yeah, in the log.
Lil Moni, thanks
I
for
wish I
500
could call
bits.
the Ironton Police Department and tell them I'm outside and I want to file a complaint. Yeah, but the number on the door here. There you are. Hey.
No, it ain't me.
I need to file a complaint. That's why I'm here.
That's that place, not this place.
Well, yeah, but you guys, how do I get access? I need to file
Call
a
that
complaint.
phone number. Step down there because we're getting ready to bring inmates
We
out.
got
Step
bring
down there and
inmates
make that. Call that phone number. 740-532-3525.
Call that number.
Call
but
that.
you got to go down there.
740-532-3525.
Yeah, step right down there.
In the history of you guys doing this, has anybody ever tried to take prisoners out of your hands? So that's not going to happen today, then, is it?
I've done
Well, then
it
is it?
46 years and I ain't never lost one.
Right, and so I'm not. And he's a big supporter of the same thing I'm a supporter of. I'm a supporter of the military, and I'm a supporter of rehabilitating kids on drugs. And he does those things so well. It is what he's set up for the kids here is just absolutely impressive.
Okay, now what's your name now?
Chili DeCastro.
Let me go get him. Go see him.
Chili's been arrested, by the way, since this, for disorderly conduct, I believe.
And I'll pull my computer open so I can show him. So I can show him what you're looking at here. So.
Lil Moni, thanks for gifting
Let's
another
put Mr.
sub.
Waldo
Appreciate
here,
it.
and
I
have
did skip
this
forward a little, yes.
set up
57% to level 3.
So that he can see it. Oh, let's cancel that right there. Let's lower the opacity here a little bit so he can see it. And I'm going to show him something here. Let's see what they say. Let's see what Mr.
Hi,
Waldo
Lou.
says. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I salute Old Glory every time. Every time. God bless the United States of America. They got a beautiful flag in here. You should see this flag. It's beautiful.
What?
Oh, let me guess. He's not going to talk to me. There's a shocker, isn't it? Right here.
Where's the one where he gets arrested? I want to see him get arrested. Where was that? Gotta be a popular one, you'd think. Somewhat recent. He was at... He was, like, at the city hall, and he was telling people to come to the city hall. You'd think it'd be popular. Delete laws. Arrested? They're gonna actually show it? No? Great. 62% to level 3. Citosaurus says, he looks so similar to someone I used to go to AA with, and he's also a piece of shit, so it's strange watching this dingus. Marking 14, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Very generous of you, I appreciate that. Wow, our April sub goal is doing pretty good all of a sudden. Nice. Chili DeCastro, where's your arrest video? 63% to level 5. Sorry, Rachiology, I missed your bits. Rachiology says he needs the continuous pressure of the headphones to prevent a steady flow of blood to his brain. When that happens, he has disturbing and inexplicable thoughts like, I'm wasting mine and other people's time, or maybe it's actually me who's the idiot. Yeah, you don't want to have those thoughts. That's always scary. Where did he get arrested? Maybe if I just search arrested on his channel. You love my cat, thank you. Citosaurus says, also, my company decided not to switch insurance. I'm guessing they wanted to avoid me having a literal emotional breakdown in my office. Got pulled into HR this morning so we could tell me. That's awesome. Good for you. Alright, I'll have to come back to him when I find that sometime.
So I came over here, and the lady, instead of acknowledging me, she just left. She went back there to talk to someone. And
please give the cat a boop. Boop. There was the boop.
And just headed out.
There's someone right here.
Hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
Hi, we just came to check out your police station here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we actually were doing a little tour of your lobby over there. How come is this the receptionist? She just kind of walked away. Usually she's supposed to greet people, right?
Well, did you announce yourself?
Well, I came in here and I was standing right here and she just kind of walked away.
In your face, so that kind of throws people off.
Oh, yeah.
Her face is on the other side of the glass.
But
her face is on the other side of the glass, so it wasn't in her face.
You have 3 cameras in my face.
Your face?
Rather than just acknowledging people. I mean,
We're saying hello. May I get your name?
Sergeant Jeremy Sagner.
Sergeant Jeremy Syker?
Sagner.
Sagner. May I get your badge number?
214.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so we just came over just doing a little checking your city out and stuff like that. And we actually noticed there's one of your vehicles out there is running.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a
How
reason
do you
for
notice the vehicle running?
Well, I mean, I could hear it. It's hot. I touched it.
You touched it?
Yeah.
So you avoided the no trespassing police?
There's just a sign that said, we looked at the signage. It doesn't say anything, no trespassing.
Yeah,
it says an authorized vehicles only. So
this is the main area. If you want.
Are you an authorized vehicle?
Come here, that's fine.
That's a new defense. Sir, I am traveling as an automobile. It is authorized.
Okay, we got no issue with that.
Well, I mean, you can't have an issue with it, but how come the car's running? I mean, taxpayer money, I mean, gas is expensive right now.
Okay.
Is there a reason why the vehicle's still running?
I don't know, you could probably ask the officer.
Well, I mean, can you ask him? I mean, I don't know if I can ask him. You probably know whose it is.
Okay. Is there anything I can help you with from this point?
Well, yeah, I was wondering if you could get that vehicle turned off. It's costing taxpayers a lot of money to sit there and idle.
I'll make sure we take care of that.
Yeah. All right, well, I mean, We're gonna go back over into the parking lot and check it out.
All right, you're not going to go into the parking lot.
Well,
Just explain to you.
well, we're absolutely going to, because there's no law that says that we can't do that.
So if you go into the parking lot, that's for, I'm telling you now. I'm letting you know now. That's for police vehicles only, okay?
We're not a police vehicle.
Yeah, it's not open for the public.
Well, you have to put a sign up then.
Okay.
There's no
I'm telling-
CRS, no
so
trespassing.
I'm telling you now. That area is off limits to the
65% to
public.
level
It's
5
open,
with
so
40
there's no
seconds
gate,
left.
there's no restricted
So I'm
area.
telling you now. If you want to press the issue, that's fine. But I'm telling you now. That's for police vehicles, police personnel, please.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that
Any
it's
other
not.
questions?
So we're gonna go back there.
Okay,
Because
well,
we have the
I'll
right
get
to
you
go back
there
there.
then.
Okay, if you want to throw the handcuffs
Do
on
not
you,
attack my
we
gavel,
will
child.
bind ourselves to your pension as long as possible, sir, because that
so-
would be violating our rights. You can't arrest us or trespass us from public property. It's
Okay,
not a restricted
I
area.
have told you that that's a restricted area.
It's not restricted.
I'm letting you know
There's no sign. You
it.
can't just let
I
us
am
know.
letting you
It has
know
to be.
that.
It has to be
Okay,
officially
so
posted.
I understand what you're doing. I respect your.
It doesn't seem like you respect us, sir.
Thanks for
You're
the hype
telling us
train,
that we're
everyone.
not allowed to
So
go
I'm
into
almost
an
got
area
to
that's
level
not
5.
restricted. You need to put a sign
It's a
up.
lawful order.
You need.
Okay.
It's not a lawful order.
So here we
It's
go.
not a lawful order. You need to put a sign up that says a CRS that says no trespassing or restricted area.
Okay.
That's the law. We know what we're doing here. You said you know
Okay,
what
sure.
we're doing, so I mean we obviously
Yeah, I know what
what
you're
we're
trying
doing.
to do, and that's fine.
We're not trying to do anything. We're trying
That's
to.
fine.
We're trying to come over. We told you we're cordial in the beginning. We told you we're coming here to peacefully just check out your police station. here.
And by all means,
And you're
this-
trying to give us
this
unlawful
area is
directives.
up here.
Unlawful directives. We can't go in the parking lot.
Yeah.
There's no signage. It says
I'm letting you
authorized
know.
vehicles only. Okay, like I said, well, if you want to get the handcuffs out, and then you can arrest us, and we'll go
Okay.
from there.
Cool.
Okay. So we got this guy who's a bit of a tyrant, Sagner.
Tyrant.
Yeah, man, you're trying
I
to
thought
tell
I
us
was
that
being nothing but
we can't go into a
polite with you.
restricted
Well, I'm
area.
curious to know.
What a tyrant for telling us we can't go into the restricted area.
And then you're being rude.
The tyrants at McDonald's won't let me go back into the kitchen so I can see how they make the Big Macs.
To just say you're not allowed to go back there.
Because I just let you know that that area is for police
It
personnel.
has to be
only.
legally marked, sir. It has to have signage up there.
I'm letting you know it's for
No, there's no Marcel update. He's still wanted by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. He's still on the run.
police personnel.
For Fort, how you
I
can have
haven't
a
yelled
Fort
at you
Lufton?
Oh, I already know. I worked at McDonald's for years back in high school and a little bit in college, so I know how they make the Big Macs. Like the big caulk gun full of Mac sauce. At least that's what it was like when I was there. I don't know if they still use the big caulk gun. P-Meal, thanks for gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the community.
The municipal code stated there, it says no trespassing, or you have the CRS.
You know, an easy
So-
way to do that would just to allow us to go and do what we need to do and not try to challenge us and tell us we can't be back there when
Well,
we
I'm letting you know that that area is designated for police personnel
Who gave you
and
that
police vehicles.
authorization
The
to-
city.
The city gave you
Yeah,
authorization?
the same way we posted a sign up there for
Well,
authorized
then why
police
don't you?
vehicles.
Yeah, why don't you have a no trespassing sign up though? There's the author. We're not a vehicle.
It would
We
be
understand we
no
can't park there.
pedestrians.
And I'm letting you know that with the police vehicles back there, safety concerns, the whole 9 yards. All right.
Okay.
We don't allow the general public to be back in that
It's
area.
open, sir. You need to put a gate up. There's nothing there. It's open
There's
to
a
the
lot of
public.
things that we could do.
Yeah, that you need to do.
But you know, what I
It's-
figured,
you're giving
you
us
know,
unlawful
you
orders,
know,
sir. That's not a lawful
listen,
order.
I'm talking to you freely and openly, and I'm letting you know.
Okay. Well, I'm
Okay.
letting you know. And we're gonna go
All right,
back
you're
there.
gonna keep pushing.
I'm letting you know we're gonna go trespass. What are you gonna do? Arrest us? Presumably gets arrested.
I'm gonna go
that's
back
fine.
there. Yeah.
I think it would
And
be
if you do
best
anything,
to
then
allow us
we're
to
gonna
go.
sue
Oh,
the city
yeah,
of
there
Fort
it is.
Lupton.
There it is.
And we're also going to attach ourselves to your pension personally because there's no qualified immunity in
Perfect.
Colorado.
Okay, sit tight. I'll be right back with you guys.
Sit tight. We'll go. We're free Americans. Tell us what to
You're
do.
free to go.
Oh, we're free to stay.
Yeah,
Free to go. Free to stay.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we'll hang out here for a couple
Hang
hours.
out wherever you
We'll be
want.
here for a couple hours, man.
You want to sit in a lobby for 2
What's he
hours.
gonna go get?
I don't know, but he says that he has authorization from the city. That's why we put the no authorized vehicles only. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't they give you a no trespassing sign to throw up there also?
Right, no foot traffic.
You know, there's no sign.
It's implied. Lou, don't lick the microphone. She's licking the mic. They put authorized vehicles only, which implies you are not allowed to walk in there. It's for authorized vehicles only. Good lord.
There's no gate. It's completely open. It's connected. This lobby here is connected to the
Parking lot.
the parking lot. I mean, it goes right there. It's completely open to the public. That's ridiculous.
But instead of just allowing us to walk through because there is no signage, they want to say, well, I said you can't.
Yeah. Well, he could say no red shirts back there either. I mean,
$5.
yeah.
Give me $5.
Anyone could just say anything. Okay, here we go.
So I stand corrected.
Oh God, Lou, you sat on the thing.
Well, he could say no red shirts back there either. I mean,
Stop sitting on the keyboard, baby.
Anyone could just say anything.
Morak says someone should remind these guys that the Chernobyl exclusionary zone is off limits too.
Okay, here we go.
So I stand corrected, guys. Feel free to walk about.
Okay. Did you check with the lieutenant?
What's that?
Did you check with the lieutenant?
No.
Oh, I was just wondering. You came back and said you stand corrected. So.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Okay.
That's
all right. So you're free to walk about.
All right.
Any other questions I can answer for you?
I don't think, can we get a card?
Yeah, I was about to give you one right now. Thank you. Awesome.
That was the most sarcastic awesome I've ever heard. H. Baird says, the sign also doesn't say no helicopters, no powered parachutes, no tunneling. Checkmate, please. Have you guys seen that guy on YouTube who has the powered parachute thing that he went to McDonald's with? That was nuts.
We really appreciate you.
Hey, no, and by all means, guys, I'm not trying to give you guys a hard time. I know what the plan is, and I'm all for it.
I think that you think that the plan was that I want to sue the city, which is not true.
You kind of do.
No, actually, I really just want to exercise my First Amendment right. That's all.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, if you're going to violate my rights, I absolutely would sue you and the city, of course.
I'm sure you would.
But I don't want to do that. I just want to come in here
ultimately,
and have my rights
what I'm
respected.
here for is just to answer the questions you guys got. Okay. I stand corrected on the parking lot. Feel free to walk about.
I do have a question though.
Sure.
There is a shell casing just sitting out there.
Oh.
So.
A shell casing?
Mm-hmm. It looks like maybe a 38 or a 9.
If you wouldn't mind showing me, I'd be more than happy to.
I would love to.
Sure.
And also, can we get the car turned off too?
We'll take care of that. Yes.
Thank you.
That was pretty funny. Oh God, they did another Plinketto? Oh God. Alright, it's been 3 hours, we're probably close to the end. What could we do as a cleanse? P-Meal says, it's wild that the United States has police brutality against minorities, political persecution of LGBT plus people, and then these people. Yeah, the US is a big place full of insane people. Let's do a sausage video as a cleanse. I like sausage guy. Sausage. Pop rock sausage. That's a little long though. Heck, why not?
Hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess. Pop rocksage. We were at a party. Everybody had matching clams. Oh, they sizzle right in your hand. Let's give these Pop Rocks, their due here.
I don't like Pop Rocks. I'm gonna put it out there. I do not like Pop Rocks.
Man, biting down on them, it feels like your tooth is exploding. That's certainly an experience. I don't understand why anyone would enjoy eating this recreationally. Carbon dioxide. Isn't that what comes out of your car? Who am I to judge people's taste in candy? We're gonna load these Pop Rocks into some pork and, turn it into a sausage. Yeah, it's like being at Benihana's.
They're for oral sex. They're not for oral sex. People just use them for oral sex sometimes.
Scrape that bit off there.
That's like saying whipped cream is for sex, just because some people used whipped cream in sex.
Maybe a little too frozen for our own good, but it's nothing that a little sawing can't, help with. Making a pop rocksage. Yeah, now you can really hear that sizzle. Each Pop Rock package only cost me $1, and look, it's several minutes of fun. And then we'll just do that. I can't believe they're still going. Give some more there, so see what happens when it goes
They're
down
just gonna fizzle themselves out before he even eats it. It's just gonna be sugary meat.
It's kind of weird just listening to the pork sizzle. I think this could use several more packets of Pop Rocks. It's a good thing I chose a natural color. Let's balance things out with a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't want to forget about that pepper, boy. I tell you what. Kind of sang the song a little too early in this episode.
I don't like the cursed sizzling meat. The cursed sizzling raw meat is not something that I'm a fan of.
They're still popping away in there. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage. Hold on, we gotta give this some room. Well, it wasn't the best of lit sausaging, but it's okay. Once again, special thanks to this week's Ruffalo Art Box thing. This Will It Blow is brought to you by Blissy. Do you sweat like a pig in heat when you sleep? I'd be more, Mom. Automatically applied at checkout for an additional 30% off. I'm gonna have to give. Oh, no. Hit the box at least. I'm gonna have to give that Will It Blow. Yeah, you won, Mark Ruffalo's. It looks like the oil burned in the pan. Here we go! I don't hear much popping anymore. I guess it's being covered by the sound of the frying. This might be the first candy sausage that actually succeeds. It smells like kettle corn. It's starting to burn. So I'm gonna take it out of the pan here. And there we go. Well, let's open it up and see how we did. It may look raw, but I have a pretty good feeling that that's just the Pop Rocks food coloring coming off in there. And I'm out of hot dog buns, so we're gonna use this dry piece of bread. This isn't ordinary bread; it's ordinary sausage. So don't get too upset. Here we go. I mean, it tastes like Pop Rocks without any of the popping nonsense going on. So it has a strong artificial strawberry flavor to it. You know, the artificial strawberry flavor is not that, tasty. It's a weird sausage to judge because on the one hand, we were successful in making it taste like Pop Rocks, but on the other hand, Pop Rocks without the popping just tastes like artificial strawberry. I say we split the difference right in half. I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 2.5 out of 5.
That's way too much.
Bop, 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 bop.
Good God. Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid. Thanks everyone. If you're here from the raid and you liked what you saw, give me a follow. The main thing I do is Tinfoil Tuesdays, where I debunk conspiracy theories and we kind of laugh at general conspiracy nonsense. We do cringe streams, we do Sovereign Citizen streams like today. I do Chud Watch, where I take a look at people like John Doyle, Ben Shapiro, right-wing nonsense and make fun of it. So, it's all good. Or if you just like the cat, then follow for Kitty. Either way, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Who are we raiding? Jack is live? Sure. We'll raid Jack. Raid Justin Freakin'. I don't know who that is. Remind me another time and maybe. But I have already decided. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow for some other kind of stream. I still have a face. Hi, everyone. Have a good night. Say good night, Lupine. Say good night to the nice people at home. Lupine says good night. All right, see you guys later. See you tomorrow.